grasped Lin Hui tightly, tears streaming down his face. Lin Hui, why did you take so long? If you had delayed any further, that monkey would have killed me. Lin Hui pushed him away, glancing at his lower half. Commander, what on earth happened to you? Quite a unique situation you've found yourself in. Enough of the nonsense. Help me get this off. Hurry. Lin Hui chuckled. If it breaks, it breaks. At your age, you hardly need it anyway. Zhou Zhongyi felt as though he had been struck 1,000 times. Who says I don't need it? Even if I don't, can't I just keep it for show? Lin Hui, finding it distasteful, insisted he manage it himself and turned to the front. Everyone, grab your weapons and let us deal with them. His furious roar startled the surrounding monkeys. All the monkeys turned to face Lin Hui, suddenly gripped by fear. Wasn't this their worst nightmare? How did they encounter him here? They had only recently endured a beating, and the pain still lingered. Instantly, every monkey scattered in terror, fearing that lagging even slightly would result in capture. Lin Hui was momentarily taken aback. Why has everyone fled? He turned and approached the lone remaining monkey. Dazed, the monkey scrambled to its feet, and, upon noticing the approaching figure, bolted in fright. However, before it could ascend the tree, Lin Hui seized its tail. Where do you think you're going? With a swift motion, he swung the tail and sent the monkey crashing to the ground. It squealed in pain, as if its bones might shatter. Be quiet, as Lin Hui raised his fist. The monkey immediately complied, its body stiffening in submission. Satisfied with its obedience, Lin Hui chose to momentarily disregard it. Standing up and surveying the chaos around him, he was left speechless. The monkeys had fled, and the traps were all in disarray. The area was a chaotic mess, bearing the scars of battle. If they managed to attract the Blue Army now, it would truly be a stroke of bad luck. Lin Hui gazed at Zhou Zhongyi, tears of frustration welling in his eyes. Commander, we labored for hours setting these traps, and you've ruined them all. You aren't a spy sent by the Blue Army, are you? Zhou Zhongyi, clutching his leg in agony, shouted, Nonsense. Have you ever seen a spy who harms themselves? The others around them shared a look of helplessness. All their hard work had seemingly vanished. They dared not retaliate against their commander and could only turn to Lin Hui with a resigned expression. What do we do now? Lin Hui replied tersely. What can we do? Just sit back and relax. He looked at the commander. Commander, what were you thinking provoking the monkeys? Now do you understand why we attacked them last time? Zhou Zhongyi nodded vigorously. These monkeys truly deserve a beating. Look at the state of my face. Lin Hui shook his head, discarding the monkey to the side. However, when he turned back, he was taken aback to find the monkey sitting there obediently, too frightened to move. Lin Hui, momentarily surprised, commanded, sit. Thud. The monkey quickly obeyed, trembling in fear. Wang Yong and Chen Eru were both taken aback. Hui Gu, you are truly astonishing. This monkey is utterly subdued by you, not daring to move an inch. You are simply a master in monkey training. Lin Hui rolled his eyes in response. Of course, if you were to take a few punches, you'd behave too. Zhou Zhongyi approached to shoo him away. Scram, scram. Just seeing you irritates me. Hurry up and get lost. Yet the monkey remained motionless, its fearful little eyes fixated on Lin Hui. It did not utter a sound. Paralyzed by fear, the crowd erupted in laughter. Is the monkey not leaving? Lin Hui, should we reset the traps? Lin Hui pondered for a moment. Suddenly his eyes sparkled. All right, everyone, no need to set traps anymore. I have a new idea. The crowd, curious, inquired. What idea? Lin Hui fixed his gaze on the monkey. We will use him. The crowd was bewildered. What could a single monkey accomplish? As the monkey noticed Lin Hui approaching, it trembled uncontrollably, urine escaping in terror. Lin Hui gently patted the monkey's head, smiling warmly. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Stick with me. And I promise you will dine on delicacies, having all you desire, with a bright future ahead. The monkey, petrified, retreated frantically, only to collide with a tree trunk. Tumbling to the ground, its face contorted from the impact. Chapter 104. I despise cowardice. Everyone was left in shock. What could a monkey possibly do? Were they expected to command it to battle the Blue Army? Amidst the crowd's skeptical gazes, Lin Hui beckoned the monkey. Come here. The monkey, startled, hastily scrambled to its feet and obediently approached, standing to the side. The onlookers were dumbfounded, jaws dropping to the ground. When had the monkey become so obedient? Just moments ago, it had been frenziedly attacking them. Zhou Zhongyi, with a swollen face, incredulously asked, Lin Hui, how is it so compliant with you? Lin Hui chuckled. Commander, if you endured a beating like it did, I assure you, you would be even more obedient. Zhou Zhongyi nearly spat blood. Are you comparing me to a monkey? Someone nearby curiously inquired. What can this one monkey do, even if it listens to you? Lin Hui, with a smile, replied, have you not realized? This is a monkey king. Monkey king? The crowd exchanged bewildered glances. Zhou Zhongyi was the first to grasp the situation. I understand now. This is the monkey king. It was my initial offense against it that led to the assault by so many monkeys. But what does that have to do with it being a monkey king? Can it transform into Sun Wukong and fly away? Lin Hui rolled his eyes, remarking on the richness of his imagination. A monkey king can command hundreds of monkeys. Now that this monkey king listens to me, what do you all think? Everyone's eyes brightened, mischievous smiles adorning their faces. Understood. Lin Hui, it is indeed you. As Lin Hui crouched down, the monkey, in fear, retreated several steps, apprehensive of being struck. Lin Hui stroked its head reassuringly, smiling. What are you afraid of? I am not a bad person. Little monkey, as long as you obey, I promise you will have bananas at every meal. However, if you disobey. At that moment, with lightning speed, he flicked the monkey's tail. If you dare to defy me, I will chop you up and feed you to the dogs. Feed me. Feed me. Wang Yong quickly jumped into the fray. The folks back home say that this thing is quite nourishing, far superior to any bull, sheep, or donkey whip. Lin Hui shot him a glare, then turned to the monkey. Did you hear that? The monkey, startled, tightened its body and nodded vigorously. Seeing the creature's compliance, Lin Hui, with a smile, produced a banana from behind. Good boy, stick with me, and I'll treat you to the finest delicacies and find you the most beautiful female monkeys in the world. The monkey, evidently oblivious to the meaning, stood there in a daze. Lin Hui slapped his hand. Did you hear me? The monkey quickly accepted the banana, grinning like a little brother and nodding incessantly. Lin Hui huffed. Now that is more like it. 2 hours later, the Blue Army's special forces swiftly navigated through the forest, quickly following the clues to the vicinity. I'm nearby, detecting signals from the red team. At that moment, Li Ming's earpiece suddenly crackled to life. He excitedly inquired, is it the Tiger Squad? Wang Yishua nodded. There's a high probability. The signal is slightly weak, located to the southwest, about 2 kilometers from your position. Upon hearing this, the Blue Army's soldiers instantly tensed up. The Tiger Squad is notoriously cunning. There may well be an ambush nearby. Disconnecting the communication, Li Ming pointed to 2 individuals. You two, come with me to scout ahead. Understood. The 3 men lowered their bodies, alternating in cover as they advanced, maintaining a distance of less than 10 meters between them. Before long, they approached the marshland. Li Ming quietly raised his binoculars. Indeed, a group of individuals was concealed within the distant grass. Approximately 20 individuals were visible, likely members of the Tiger Squad. Finally, they had located them. Li Ming whispered into his earpiece, lowering his voice. Target confirmed. Rally to my position immediately. Moments later, dozens of Special Forces soldiers stealthily approached from behind. Li Ming raised his hand to signal, and everyone nodded, swiftly dispersing to encircle the target. Throughout the entire operation, the group in the grass remained utterly unaware, prompting a contemptuous smile to spread across his face. How foolish. I truly wonder how those flies managed to deceive them. When we return, I'll ensure they face severe consequences. All units, in position. Li Ming's earpiece crackled to life, and he sneered. Wait for my command, and we strike together. I intend to frighten them to death. Not far away, in the grass, Zhang Jiantao and his companions lay flat on the ground, their faces etched with anxiety. The mud covering their bodies had already been knocked off, leaving them exposed, resembling worms tossed into water, waiting for fish to bite. One veteran, trembling with fear, said, Squad leader, let us wait a little longer. If no one shows up, we should retreat, right? Another soldier, equally anxious, added, Indeed. We VE served as bait and sold our meat. If they don't come, we can't be blamed. Silence. Zhang Jiantao glared at them. If we return like this, the squad leader will break our legs. Stay low and keep pretending to be bait. Stop with the useless chatter. The others nodded in frustration. Yes. Zhang Jiantao was also internally panicking. Who isn't afraid of a beating? Who doesn't fear pain? He boldly approached as bait, to be beaten and killed. After so many years of service and numerous drills, this was his first encounter with such a scenario. Zhang Jiantao couldn't help but mutter to himself. Lin Hui is truly unscrupulous, using us as bait. If this were an actual battle, it could lead to death. No. I must ensure he receives a proper reckoning when we return. At that moment, the grass ahead rustled, and 2 figures darted past. Zhang Jiantao immediately shouted, Enemies ahead. Everyone raised their weapons, and just as they were about to stand up from the grass, dozens of figures suddenly appeared around them. Goodness. Before Zhang Jiantao and the others could react, they were tackled to the ground by a group of burly men, rendered as helpless as fragile flowers. Unable to move a single finger, pressed against the ground, Zhang Jiantao shouted in agony, It hurts, it hurts. My arm is about to break, be gentler. Just then, Li Ming approached with a smile, instructing his subordinates, spread out and search the surroundings, see if there are any others. His subordinates quickly dispersed and returned shortly to report. Report, squad leader, there is no one else around, just these few. Li Ming nodded, lift them up for me. Yes, sir. More than 20 individuals were immediately hoisted up like chicks. Li Ming, with his hands clasped behind his back, approached them. Among you, who is the officer? In unison, everyone turned to Zhang Jiantao. He was bewildered. What the hell? You've betrayed me. Traitors, a bunch of traitors. Li Ming grasped his chin, narrowing his eyes. So you are the officer. Is it you who called us to provoke? So what if I am? You bastard. Before Zhang Jiantao could finish his curse, he received a punch that forced the remaining words back down his throat. His mouth burned with fury as he shouted, "How dare you hit me?" Li Ming sneered. Exercises are akin to real combat. You are the enemy, so what is wrong with hitting you? Zhang Jiantao, filled with indignation and stubbornness in his eyes, declared, "If you have the guts, execute us all. Don't insult us." The surrounding special forces soldiers laughed heartily, looking at him as if he were a fool. Li Ming chuckled. Are you eager to die so you can lounge in the shelter with tea? I won't grant you that wish. He surveyed them, mocking. Look at you all. How did you end up like this? Blown apart by shells, or contaminated by nuclear radiation. You look like savages. What business is it of yours? I don't care. Stop being stubborn, and quickly tell me where the rest of your group went. Huh, I won't tell you. Zhang Jiantao spat vehemently, a thick droplet landing on Li Ming's face, stubbornly refusing to fall off. Li Ming wiped it away, bringing his hand to his nose to sniff. His face twisted in disdain. How utterly foul. Fine, I'll give you credit for your courage, but don't blame me for being rude. Wait, Zhang Jiantao shouted in fear. If you dare to torture me, I will report you to the directorate. Li Ming smiled slightly. I need to gather intelligence now. Under the circumstances of an actual battlefield, a bit of coercion is warranted. After all, once this is over, you can report me however you like. Once he finished speaking, he struck Zhang Jiantao squarely in the face. Zhang Jiantao immediately felt stars dancing before his eyes, his head buzzing with disorientation. Just as the next punch was about to land, he hurriedly shouted, Don't hit me. Don't hit me. I confess. All the Special Forces soldiers were taken aback, nearly believing they had misheard him. Zhang Jiantao quickly reiterated, I confess everything. Just don't hit me. Bang. Another punch landed on his face. Zhang Jiantao's nose began to bleed. Damn it, whether I speak or not, you just hit me. Are you out of your mind? Li Ming spat disdainfully, I despise cowards. With that, he threw another punch. Chapter 105. We also wish to retreat, but the monkey won't allow it. Bang, bang, bang. Over 20 men each took a beating. Zhang Jiantao, bruised and battered, pleaded, Stop hitting us, stop hitting us. We'll talk. Li Ming, with a smirk, observed him. Are you willing to speak now? Zhang Jiantao was on the verge of tears. I was just about to say something, but you had to beat me up first. It's just an exercise. Why go so hard? We are comrades. Li Ming looked at him with contempt. You lot, comrades? A bunch of cowards, and you can't even withstand a beating. If we were really on the battlefield, each one of you would be a traitor. Nonsense. Zhang Jiantao shouted in anger. If we were truly on the battlefield, we wouldn't be like this. The others chimed in, shouting, Exactly. Our Tiger Battalion would rather die than surrender. Li Ming turned back with a grin, waving his hand dismissively. Would rather die than surrender. Huh? Come on, give them another beating. Let us see if they truly want to yield. Sure enough, a group of special forces, grinning mischievously, pulled out their knuckle dusters and put them on. Zhang Jiantao, trembling in fear, stammered, Wait. I'll talk. I'll say everything, but I have one request. If I tell you the location, can you not take us there and just execute us on the spot? If the commander finds out we VE turned traitor, we'll be finished. Li Ming chuckled wickedly. You tell me first, and I might consider it. Zhang Jiantao cursed him silently in his heart, then feigned a pitiful demeanor. The rest are all in Area 125. We were mainly sent to scout enemy conditions and to lure you over. The blue team special forces erupted in laughter, as if they had heard the funniest joke of the century. You think you could lure us over? You think you're qualified to scout enemy conditions? You are just like Guangong wielding a big blade. Do you even know what counter-scouting is? Zhang Jiantao, pretending to be nervous, nodded repeatedly. Yes. I was just caught by you at the start. I've said everything I needed to say. Can you just kill us now? Li Ming, grinning wickedly, replied. It would be such a waste to just kill you. I must take you with me, to show your commander how his so-called loyal soldiers betray their own. Zhang Jiantao, filled with rage, shouted furiously, Bastard, you're not keeping your word. Bang. Li Ming landed another punch. Blood gushed from Zhang Jiantao's nose, the pain forcing tears from his eyes. Lin Hui, you scoundrel. After enduring so many blows, you must treat me to a lavish meal as compensation upon your return. Otherwise, we shall settle this matter. Bind them and take them away. Li Ming turned around, and immediately someone approached, concern etched on their face. Captain, could this be a ruse? Li Ming shook his head. No, this kid has taken so many hits. He could never lie. The individual glanced back at Zhang Jiantao, who was battered and bruised, and nodded in agreement. But what if this is merely a ploy to feign weakness? Those rascals are exceedingly cunning. We've already stumbled into their traps several times. Previously, he had returned after capturing 4 wild boars, only to be met with a hail of gunfire. He truly hoped that upon arrival, he would not find a troop of wild boars instead of the tiger squad. Li Ming waved his hand confidently. What is there to fear? We are many. Even if it is a trap, we can retreat in time. With our strength, can they truly stop us? However, Li Ming cut off any further discussion, stating sternly, enough. The commander has issued orders to eliminate the tiger squad in the shortest time possible. This time, we shall account for both old grievances and new. They must be completely eradicated. Everyone move out. With a grand gesture, he led the group forward with haste. Time flew by, and they soon arrived at the 125 area. Li Ming coldly regarded Zhang Jiantao. In which direction are they located? Zhang Jiantao, his hands bound behind his back, pointed with his chin towards a direction. Over there. I truly cannot go any closer. You must proceed on your own. Li Ming paid him no mind, leaving these individuals behind as he led his team forward cautiously. After a short while, they indeed discovered that the forest ahead was teeming with hidden figures, resembling large black monkeys, their bodies caked in mud. Li Ming suddenly realized. No wonder they could not track the heat sources. These scoundrels are quite clever. He signaled for combat, and all the special forces swiftly dispersed. Crouching low, guns drawn, they advanced gradually. Snap! One of the men stepped on a branch, causing everyone to drop instantly to the ground, tension palpable. Li Ming peered into the distance and noted that the enemy seemed completely unaware, allowing him to exhale with relief. All clear, continue forward, and fire at my command. Just as they prepared to move ahead, a dark figure leaped into their path. Upon seeing it was merely a monkey, everyone collectively sighed in relief. Li Ming cautiously gestured, step aside, step aside. The monkey bared its teeth, tilting its head at him, showing no inclination to move. Li Ming's frustration flared, and he threatened, leave now, or I shall shoot. As he extended his weapon forward, the monkey let out a sudden shriek. I was just joking, he exclaimed. No sooner had the words left his mouth than the monkey seized a stick and swung it. Bang! Just as Li Ming attempted to rise, he was struck squarely on the head, landing unceremoniously on the ground. Ignoring the pain, he shouted, We've been compromised. Open fire. The others raised their weapons. Just as they heard rustling from above, everyone looked up, and fear gripped them instantly. In the sky, countless monkeys descended like rain. To their astonishment, it was indeed a rain of monkeys. Thud after thud, a swarm of monkeys crashed down upon them, causing many to scream in terror. Li Ming rose to his feet and spotted Lin Hui approaching with his men in the distance. In a fit of anger, he growled, retreat. We have been exposed. Without hesitation, everyone scrambled to their feet and hurriedly withdrew. Lin Hui observed their disheveled appearance, his eyebrows curving into a smile. These monkeys are quite formidable. Scatter. Do not let them escape. Yes. The members of the tiger squad immediately dispersed, forming an expansive encirclement, akin to a vast net, pursuing at a steady pace. The Blue Army Special Forces fled frantically through the forest, casting terrified glances behind them. Oh no, the monkeys are closing in. Why are they after us? We have no syrup. Curse that syrup. The monkeys swung through the trees, their speed far surpassing that of humans. Suddenly, a monkey leaped down, delivering a sharp blow to the head of one Special Forces soldier. The pain caused him to clutch his head, tears streaming down his face. Then, two more monkeys jumped down, kicking him sharply on the knees. With a thud, he knelt before the monkeys, bowing his head in submission. Damn it! Enraged, he raised his weapon, preparing to strike. Just then, a loud shout rang out behind him. Do not strike. They are a protected species. The soldier turned to see Zhang Jiantao in the distance, his mind seemingly frozen. Zhang Jiantao quickly clarified, it's true. Monkeys are classified as a second-level protected species. Injuring them could land you in a military court and prison. Beside him, Li Ming gritted his teeth in frustration. We can't afford to fight them. Let us just flee. In that moment of hesitation, monkeys from all directions surrounded them. A quick glance revealed at least several hundred. The Special Forces soldiers were on the verge of tears. Captain, how do we escape? The monkeys won't let us. Li Ming, equally alarmed by the approaching monkeys, shouted, counterattack. Just drive them back without harming them. As everyone assumed a fighting stance, the group of captives prostrated themselves on the ground. Zhang Jiantao yelled to them, get down quick. Why should we? The soldiers were incredulous. The monkeys have a strong sense of revenge. If you fight back, they will only become more ferocious. Just lie down and concede. If you show submission, they won't attack. Is that true? The Blue Army Special Forces stared wide-eyed in disbelief. Don't deceive us. Zhang Jiantao, with a concerned expression, replied, we are comrades. At a time like this, how could I lie to you? If you want to avoid a beating, do as I say. As the monkey horde charged forward, the Blue Army Special Forces, terrified, all dropped to the ground. In such a dire situation, they couldn't afford to question the truth of it. Besides, the captives had already surrendered. It had to be somewhat effective. However, just as they lay down, a swarm of monkeys began to punch and kick them, particularly targeting sensitive areas. Li Meng, nearly overwhelmed, clutched his head and shouted at Zhang Jiantao, "You scoundrel! Didn't you say lying down would keep us safe? Why are we in danger while you are not?" Zhang Jiantao chuckled softly. "Perhaps it is because we are not wearing clothes, and the monkeys mistakenly believe we are their kind. Why should you dress?" Li Meng bellowed in anger. "You son of a dog. Why didn't you clarify that from the beginning?" After enduring several kicks to his backside, he could no longer bear it. With a sudden burst of energy, he stood up, ready to retaliate. Bang! A bullet flew by and struck him, causing him to smoke. Lin Hui approached, grinning while holding a gun. "My apologies, Commander." Li Meng was momentarily stunned, his fury boiling over as he removed his hat and slammed it to the ground. "You bastard. I was just in a tussle with the monkey, and you took advantage of the situation." Before he could finish his tirade, a monkey suddenly leaped up and struck him on the head with a stick. Cradling his head in pain, he crouched on the ground, grimacing. "Damn it. This monkey is as treacherous as a human, always resorting to ambushes." Chapter 106. What era is this? Let's brawl. The sound of gunfire erupted in rapid succession. The monkeys scattered in fright, while the special forces lying on the ground became easy targets, swiftly meeting their demise. As they witnessed the smoke rising from their fallen comrades, the remaining special forces trembled with rage. They had never imagined they would be eliminated in such a manner. The deaths were infuriatingly humiliating. At that moment, the Tiger Regiment members swaggered in from all directions, guns in hand. Zhou Zhongyi approached, wincing in pain, yet unable to suppress his smugness. "What a farce of a special forces unit. I could take down a dozen of you, let alone over 100. It's easier than swatting flies." Li Meng was furious to the point of exploding, slamming his fist into the ground. "We refuse to accept this." Lin Hui inquired with a smile. "Refuse to accept what?" Li Meng retorted angrily. "There's no honor in this. You brought a bunch of monkeys to fight us. What a disgrace." Other Blue Team special forces echoed his sentiments. "Yes, we will not accept it. This is a battle, and you bring in monkeys? It's sheer chaos. A violation, a violation. We will report to the directing unit. Accusing you of colluding with monkeys, a serious infraction. Indeed, and they are protected animals. We have reason to suspect that this gang of monkeys has been coerced by you to attack our vulnerable areas. It's utterly outrageous." Lin Hui chuckled. "If you have the guts, try to coerce one and see if they agree." The Blue Team's special forces fell silent, utterly bewildered. How could this band of monkeys possibly be aiding the Tiger Regiment? Could it truly be because they were not clothed and appeared similar? Li Meng, filled with both anger and frustration, shouted at the top of his lungs, "We will not yield. You hide behind and play tricks while directing monkeys to harm us. What kind of true skill is that? Are you soldiers or performers from a circus?" Slap. Wang Yong delivered a resounding slap. "Is that how you speak to our brother Hui? A defeated foe should have no airs about them." Chen Eru chimed in. "You still have the audacity to be so self-righteous after your defeat. Can't the special forces handle a loss?" Li Meng's face flushed with rage. It wasn't that he couldn't accept defeat, but rather that he was indignant. Had he been ambushed by Lin Hui and his men, he could only blame himself for his lack of skill in recognizing the enemy's cunning. However, they were met with their demise at the hands of a troop of monkeys, rendering him incapable of submitting a report upon his return. The captain might very well consider him a lunatic and send him for treatment. Lin Hui gazed at him and calmly remarked, "If you are dissatisfied, fret not. I shall grant you the opportunity to confront us, so you may learn some humility." Instantly, a group of special forces from the Blue Army sprang to their feet, bellowing at the top of their lungs, "One-on-one. Who fears whom? Come on, witness as I vanquish you." Many assumed combat stances, teeth gritted, prepared to cleanse their honor through sheer strength. They were determined to deliver a sound thrashing to these fellows to ease their frustration. Lin Hui chuckled softly. "Since you are eager to fight, I shall indulge you. No need for hesitation, let us proceed." The crowd, grinning mischievously, advanced, causing the special forces to retreat in alarm. Li Meng shouted in terror, "What are you doing? What is this? Wasn't he agreed to be a one-on-one duel? Why the sudden swarm?" Lin Hui regarded him as one might a fool. "You believe everything we say? How naive to assume such a role as a special forces soldier. What era do you think this is? Do you fancy yourself in a Western cowboy tale?" He waved his hand. "Let us engage them en masse." Hundreds surged forward, unleashing a torrent of blows upon the special forces. Li Meng, furious, broke free from the crowd and yelled, "Stop! You are going too far." Zhang Jiantao launched himself forward with a kick, exclaiming, "What's with all the talk? Get to it. Brothers, strike them in the face. Considering how we were beaten, let us return the favor twofold." Both old grievances and new were to be settled. In the previous exercise, they had been bested and mocked by this lot, and now they had found the perfect opportunity for retribution. The Blue Army Special Forces, overwhelmed, lay prostrate on the ground, wailing in agony. Their numbers were vastly outmatched, the Tiger Brigade being nearly tenfold their own, rendering any resistance futile. All right, that should suffice. Lin Hui shouted, prompting the crowd to disperse. Li Meng, battered and bruised, lay on the ground, blood streaming from his nose, declaring, You have used your numbers to bully us, employing violent means to harm your comrades. I shall report you to the directing department. Lin Hui shrugged innocently. Let us not speak recklessly. It was you who proposed a fight. I am merely fulfilling your request, right everyone? Indeed. The Tiger Brigade's members felt a sense of relief wash over them. Lin Hui observed Li Meng. Do you see? The eyes of the masses are discerning. But truthfully, I have never encountered such a base demand in my life. Li Meng, seething with rage, felt as though he might bleed from his mouth. You are nothing but a band of scoundrels. Lin Hui chuckled. Since you have labeled us as such, let us embrace our rogue nature fully. Strip them of their clothing. The Blue Army Special Forces were instantly taken aback, retreating in fear. What do you intend to do? On what grounds do you strip us? A soldier may be killed, but cannot be dishonored. Lin Hui rolled his eyes. You are already dead. I am merely desecrating your corpses. Now, remove their clothes and smear them with mud, quickly. Noticing a few special forces attempting to resist, he kindly advised, I strongly suggest you do not fight back, otherwise, your fate will be quite grim. The onlookers wore wicked smiles, clenching their fists in anticipation. The Blue Army Special Forces swallowed hard in unison. A wise man does not suffer immediate losses. Any resistance would surely result in severe beatings. One soldier shut his eyes and raised his chin, resembling a virtuous maiden. Come on, you may only strip me of my clothes, but do not do anything else, or else I shall haunt you as a ghost. Lin Hui felt a shiver run down his spine, thinking how theatrical he was. Soon, the Blue Army Special Forces were stripped bare, their bodies smeared with mud. Lin Hui observed them with satisfaction, nodding approvingly. Not bad, not bad. They now resemble us quite closely. Zhou Zhongyi approached, his spirits lifted. What a relief. This has truly avenged our previous grievances. Now what shall we do next? Should we ambush other units of the Blue Army? Lin Hui smiled slightly. I have a more ambitious plan. If we are to act, let us aim for something grand. Oh, Zhou Zhongyi regarded him with surprise. Lin Hui chuckled. Commander, would you fancy seizing the Blue Army Command Center and eliminating their commander? Zhou Zhongyi's eyebrows shot up in excitement. Why would I not desire that? I have longed for it. During the last exercise, those fellows dealt us such a blow. If we could annihilate their command center, our division commander would surely be overjoyed. Perhaps he might even advocate for us with the higher-ups to safeguard our unit. Since command authority has been bestowed upon you, speak. How shall we proceed? Lin Hui turned to the Blue Army Special Forces. Ensure their mouths are all gagged. The others promptly moved to silence the group. Immediately, Lin Hui seized the communicator from Li Meng. Clearing his throat, he lowered his voice to mimic Li Meng. Report. The Tiger Brigade has been successfully annihilated. The voice on the other end of the communicator erupted with excitement, eagerly inquiring. How many were eliminated? What were the results? Li Meng's eyes widened in shock as he realized Lin Hui's intentions. He was impersonating them to commit mischief. Lin Hui waved his hand, and Wang Yong swiftly kicked Li Meng, making him obedient. Lin Hui addressed the communicator. We have eliminated more than half. The remaining personnel have scattered into the woods in disarray. During the pursuit, we fortuitously discovered the Red Side Command Center. So we have decided to forego those individuals and strike directly at the Red Command Center. The Blue Army Special Forces glared with fury, but their mouths being gagged rendered them only capable of muffled sounds. The opposing party rejoiced. When Special Forces take action, it is indeed a different matter. Authorization granted. You shall pursue relentlessly and eliminate the Red Command Center, thus concluding the exercise. Lin Hui continued in a lowered voice. Furthermore, there is another report. The individuals who eliminated our command center during the last exercise have been captured. Alive? Indeed, they are bound with ropes and their mouths are covered. As he spoke, Lin Hui cast a glance at the Blue Army personnel and grinned maliciously, nearly provoking them to faint with rage. How wicked, truly wicked. This fellow lied without a hint of shame. The Blue Army on the other end could hardly contain their excitement. Excellent, very excellent. I must take control of the situation and bring him to the headquarters. The commander wishes to meet this young man personally and teach him a lesson. After the communication was terminated, Zhou Zhongyi approached, bewildered. Lin Hui, are you planning to deceive them and infiltrate the command center? Lin Hui chuckled. Is there a better method than this? Although this group of special forces has perished, their signal devices remain operational. We can don the guise of the Blue Army Special Forces and engage in some audacious actions. Zhou Zhongyi's face lit up with a mischievous grin. You truly have a devious mind. I shall take that as a compliment, Lin Hui replied with a grin. Zhou Zhongyi, intrigued, inquired, what did you mean by attacking the Red Army's command center? Surely you jest? Lin Hui retorted sharply. How could I do such a thing? Would I extinguish my own comrades? Zhou Zhongyi pondered for a moment. What do you intend to do? Lin Hui replied nonchalantly that he would contact them shortly. However, before that, they needed to tidy themselves up a bit. Otherwise, their appearance might frighten others. The group nodded in agreement, realizing they looked rather wild. Without a degree of psychological resilience, they could not withstand the shock. They certainly couldn't frighten their allies. Lin Hui addressed the group. Let's not waste time. We need not clean our entire bodies, just ensure our necks and faces are clean. Suddenly, someone interjected. The mud has hardened and stuck to our skin. We cannot remove it without water, and there isn't even a stream nearby. Lin Hui, with utmost seriousness, replied, Can't we use urine? Everyone's eyes widened in terror. Urine? You thought of that? Zhou Zhongyi was the first to oppose. I refuse. Using urine is repulsive. I would rather scrub it off. The others nodded in agreement, finding it indeed disgusting. Lin Hui, exasperated, remarked, If you're not afraid of scraping your skin off, do as you please. Zhou Zhongyi retorted. Lin Hui coldly asked, Do you still wish to win? Yes. We want to comply quickly. Lin Hui asserted. This is a critical moment for our regiment's survival. Whether we win this battle depends on this very urine. Besides, I only ask you to dampen the mud with urine to clean your faces, not to drink it. After so many days of braving the elements, having consumed ants and cockroaches, are you truly afraid of a little urine? The group exchanged glances, realizing Lin Hui had a point. True men are unafraid of anything. They had consumed worms and caterpillars. Now they were merely using it to wipe their faces, not to drink it. So what was there to fear? Brothers, let us do this. I have plenty. If you need more, borrow from me. The group hastily fashioned small bowls from leaves and began the task, ensuring not a drop was wasted. Zhou Zhongyi, observing that everyone was committed, could not afford to back down as their leader. He approached a leaf-made bowl and let it flow. Hiss! Wang Yong leaned in to take a look. Commander, are you feeling a bit fiery? Zhou Zhongyi shot him a glare. I will only feel at ease once the Blue Army is defeated. Get out of the way. Your presence is hindering my relief. Before long, he filled a small bowl. The mud on his face had hardened entirely, if not moistened with liquid. Peeling it off would likely take a layer of skin with it. Zhou Zhongyi cradled a golden liquid in his hands, patting it on his face like a refreshing toner. This scent is quite pungent, he thought, yet for the sake of victory, he steeled himself against the discomfort. At that moment, he turned and noticed Lin Hui standing still. Lin Hui, why haven't you relieved yourself? Lin Hui replied nonchalantly, I don't need to. Can't you? How about I lend you some? I have plenty to spare. Let us not be shy. Zhou Zhongyi offered generously. Lin Hui chuckled. No need, I don't feel like it. I have water. Why would I resort to that? This stuff is rather unsanitary. As he spoke, he produced a water bottle from behind him, poured a little onto his hands, and began to wash his face. Zhou Zhongyi shot him a furious glance, cursing, Damn it, you trickster. You deceived us about needing to urinate while you wash your face with water. Chapter 107. Let the command center self-destruct. You truly are a talent. In the Red Command Center, the atmosphere was exceedingly grave. The Chief of Staff spoke anxiously, Sir. We've just received news that 2 of our battalions have been wiped out, and another company has suffered heavy losses from a rocket artillery attack. Qian Kuan slammed his palm on the table in frustration. Those bastards in the Blue Army are utterly shameless. They actually coordinated special forces with heavy weapons to infiltrate the woods, slowly eroding our positions and disrupting our arrangements. What was once our advantage in the jungle has now turned into a disadvantage. The Chief of Staff shouted urgently, If this continues, it won't be sustainable. We must organize a counterattack. You think I don't want to counterattack? It's easy to say. Qian Kuan glared at him. We currently lack even half the forces of the Blue Army. Our heavy firepower is rendered useless. And they are simply waiting for us to act rashly and confront them head-on. I need ideas from all of you. Normally, you're articulate, yet in battle, your mouths are all sewn shut? Everyone around lowered their heads. If they had ideas, they would have presented them long ago. Why wait until now? Report. Someone is looking for you. Suddenly, a communications soldier stood up and shouted. Qian Kuan's eyes widened. Who? The soldier replied, The Tiger Regiment wishes to speak with you. Qian Kuan sneered coldly. Those bastards have finally shown their faces. I thought they were all dead. I want to take their nonsense. The soldier hurriedly added. They claim they have urgent matters to report to you. Something very important. Qian Kuan snorted disdainfully, striding over to take the phone. This is Qian Kuan. What is the matter? On the other end, Lin Hui stood tall. Hello, sir. Cut the small talk. What is the urgent matter? Speak quickly. Sensing Qian Kuan's impatience, Lin Hui chuckled. Commander, we have a plan that can help the Red Army escape its current predicament. Qian Kuan paused, slightly furrowing his brow. You have 1 minute. Without wasting time, Lin Hui laid out the plan. If successfully implemented, not only can we immediately extricate ourselves from this crisis and deal a heavy blow to the Blue Army, but we might even turn the tide and claim victory. We VE pinpointed the location of the Blue Command Center. If you agree, we can act immediately. Qian Kuan's mouth fell agape, clearly startled. Lin Hui's plan utterly subverted all his previous understandings of tactics. A moment's carelessness could lead to total defeat. After a brief silence, Qian Kuan solemnly inquired, "What reason do I have to trust you? You claim to know the location of the Blue Army Command. How can I ascertain the truth of your words?" Lin Hui replied with a subtle smile, "There is no need for doubt, for I have just annihilated over 100 Blue Army Special Forces. If you wish to verify, you may send someone to confirm." Over 100 Special Forces? Qian Kuan's lips twitched. When did Special Forces become as easily vanquished as cabbages? Fearing disbelief, Lin Hui insisted, "If you are skeptical, you may come and see for yourself. They are all bound right here." Qian Kuan waved his hand dismissively. "No need for that. I trust you completely. I shall cooperate fully when the time comes." Lin Hui smiled slightly. "Commander, time is of the essence. Please make haste in your preparations and heed my signal when the moment arrives." As the call ended, several staff officers gathered around. "Commander, what did they say? Why should we cooperate with them? They wouldn't be intending to use us as bait for some nefarious scheme, would they?" Qian Kuan regarded them with a wry smile. "You have indeed guessed correctly." He swiftly recounted Lin Hui's plan. Upon hearing it, the officers were initially stunned, their expressions soon transforming into one of distaste. One staff officer vehemently opposed, "Absolutely not. Who concocted this vile idea to have our command self-destruct and lure the Blue Army here? Before they even arrive, we would be obliterated by our own shells." A nearby brigade commander seethed with anger. "I suspect that the Tiger Brigade has been bribed by the Blue Army. Their actions are aimed at colluding with the enemy to annihilate us." Another staff officer shook his head. "I cannot agree with that. The Tiger Brigade is here to protect our forces. Their actions, if pursued, would not only fail to preserve our troops, but could lead to our complete annihilation. I must assert that while their intentions may be noble, the proposal is undeniably flawed. Commander, I still uphold my previous suggestion. We should gather our forces and confront the Blue Army. As long as we remain in the woods, we have a chance." Qian Kuan shook his head with a wry smile. "Do you truly believe we have any chance left? In terms of both manpower and heavy weaponry, the Blue Army vastly outmatches us. Do you wish to concede defeat before the exercise has even begun?" The staff officer was momentarily rendered speechless. Everyone understood the current state of strength of the Red Army. If they spread out, the Blue Army would take time to eliminate them. Yet if they concentrated their forces and clashed head-on with the Blue Army, it would be akin to striking a rock with an egg. Qian Kuan looked at the assembled officers, resigned. At this juncture, conventional tactics are utterly ineffective. The Blue Army possesses special forces, advanced technology, and overwhelming firepower. We have nothing. Moreover, this plan is not mere bluster. They have just eliminated over 100 Blue Army special forces in the woods. All present were left aghast, their jaws dropping in disbelief. They were well aware of the exceptional capabilities of special forces. Just days prior, several of their companies had failed to capture a mere handful of special forces, suffering significant losses in the process. Now, the members of the Tiger Corps have suddenly eliminated over 100 adversaries. How did they manage that? Qian Kuan took a deep breath. The situation in this battle has reached such a critical point that we all bear responsibility. However, introspection can wait until the conclusion of the exercises. For now, we must employ every possible strategy to secure victory. They have briefly gained the trust of the Blue Army Command through their radio communications. If we fail to keep pace, this plan will fall apart. Thus, we must coordinate effectively. Only then do we stand a chance of turning the tide. The brigade commander expressed concern, but the risks are exceedingly high. Qian Kuan replied solemnly, "The greater the risk, the greater the reward. We are now all in, gambling everything. Our division is a venerable unit steeped in glorious tradition. If we lose this exercise, we shall face a fate akin to that of the Tiger Corps, with many of our distinguished old units being disbanded. The exercise is tantamount to real combat. If we cannot even muster the courage for this, how shall we face the ancestors who sacrificed for our nation and its people when our time comes?" Everyone clenched their fists, their hearts heavy with the gravity of the moment. If given the chance, they too did not wish to fail. The cost of losing this exercise would be exorbitant. Many exceptional veterans would leave the unit, reassigned elsewhere, which was a scenario they dreaded. Suddenly, a chief of staff spoke up. "I believe the commander makes a valid point. In the last exercise, they dismantled the Blue Army's command with just 4 individuals. They can certainly achieve it again this time." Others began to feel invigorated. Yes, these individuals think differently from the rest. Their actions are nothing short of astounding. Let us go all in this time. Qian Kuan looked at everyone, a smile emerging on his face. Since there are no objections, let us proceed swiftly. Yes. As everyone prepared to relay the orders, Qian Kuan quickly halted them, saying cautiously, "Remember, we are merely putting on a show for the Blue Army. Before any explosions, we must ensure everything is evacuated. We cannot truly destroy the command center." Laughter erupted among the group. Rest assured, even if you were to vanish, we cannot allow the command center to be lost. Qian Kuan rolled his eyes, thinking to himself that among the entire command staff, he was deemed the least important. Yet, upon reflection, if he were to be lost, the deputy commander would take charge. If the deputy commander fell, the brigade commander would assume control. As long as the command structure remains intact, the Red Force can continue to fight and resist. Qian Kuan clenched his fists, spirits lifted. If victory is attainable, then sacrificing myself is a small price to pay. Zhou Zhongyi, you must strive for honor. I am risking my life alongside you in this gamble. If we lose, I will unleash an entire division upon you. Chapter 108. This is more thrilling than Infernal Affairs or Mission Impossible. Report. In the Blue Army Command. A communication soldier suddenly stood up. We have received word that the Black Tiger personnel have commenced their assault on the Red Army Command. Jiang Yunlong rushed over, anxious to inquire. What is the current situation? How is the battle progressing? The communication soldier shook his head. For now, it remains unclear. Let us see if we can establish contact. Hurry. Sir, we cannot get through. Jiang Yunlong furrowed his brow and immediately turned to Wang Yixue. Director Wang, please assist me in determining whether your advanced technology can locate the position of the Red Command. I shall give it a try. Wang Yixue deftly operated the computer, and in a short while, she pinpointed the Red Command's location on the map. This is it. Jiang Yunlong leaned closer and noticed a blue dot representing the Special Forces, attacking a cluster of red dots from all directions. Occasionally, a flashing point of light appeared on the screen. Curiously, Jiang Yunlong inquired, what is that flickering object? Wang Yixue explained, this device primarily relies on satellites to lock onto thermal signals. The flashing indicates a sudden increase in heat, signifying an explosion at that location. Jiang Yunlong suddenly comprehended the situation. Li Ming must have sent someone to stealthily infiltrate and plant explosives, using the ensuing chaos to execute the attack. This tactic was strikingly similar to how the Red Command had previously neutralized their own headquarters with 4 operatives. Jiang Yunlong silently admired. It appears that the Black Tiger forces have learned from the last exercise, employing a similar strategy to seize the Red Command. However, a subtle sense of unease lingered in his mind, prompting him to reconfirm with Wang Yixue. Director Wang, there must be some issue here, right? With unwavering confidence, Wang Yixue responded, there will absolutely be no problems. Jiang Yunlong cleared his throat and suggested, hypothetically, could there be a possibility that the Red Command interfered with your detection? Wang Yixue's expression shifted, rising from her seat as she declared, Chief, you may doubt me, but you must trust in high technology. This instrument employs the most advanced satellite remote sensing technology in the country and is incapable of error. Moreover, as you have seen, it has never failed before. Jiang Yunlong chuckled, no need to be agitated. I merely posed a casual question. Wang Yixue rolled her eyes, clearly sensing his mistrust. He gazed at the red dots on the screen, sighing inwardly. With the command center compromised, it seemed the Red Command truly had no chance this time. Lin Hui, I hope you are not under too much pressure. Some matters are beyond your control, and you have done your best. At that moment, the communications officer suddenly stood up. Chief, they are on the line. Quickly, pass me the phone. Jiang Yunlong promptly took the phone, his excitement palpable. What is the situation over there? Lin Hui held the receiver away, deliberately raising his voice to shout. Report, Chief. The upper echelons of the Red Command have been decapitated, and their command system has been completely destroyed. The remaining scattered soldiers have fled into the woods, and we are preparing to. Jiang Yunlong was overjoyed. The situation mirrored Wang Yixue's report exactly. At last, he felt relieved. Jiang Yunlong laughed heartily. You all did exceptionally well. Once the exercise concludes, I will personally commend you. As for the remaining individuals, there is no need to pursue them. They are of no consequence. With the command system gone, the Red Command is now akin to fish on a chopping block, ready for slaughter. You are to withdraw immediately. Oh, and bring back that rascal who doused the area with gasoline. I intend to give him a proper reprimand. Lin Hui swung his arms vigorously, channeling a gust of wind into the communicator. Jiang Yunlong called out several times, only to be met with silence and static. Furrowing his brow, he hung up the phone, puzzled by the heavy noise interference. What is the situation? Why is there so much static? And why is their speech so intermittent? The communications officer replied. It's possible that there's signal interference in the forest, or perhaps the Red Command has deployed a jamming device. Jiang Yunlong nodded, acknowledging the possibility. He didn't dwell on it. After all, his comrades had no reason to deceive him. With Wang Yixue and Li Ming both affirming that everything was fine, he felt reassured. Moreover, he had witnessed on the screen that the Red Command was indeed under significant attack. The flickering dots indicated that critical locations were being targeted. The Red forces posed no threat any longer. The Tiger Regiment had been entirely annihilated, and now he could finally unleash his full potential. Jiang Yunlong stepped forward to the command table and gathered everyone around. I bring good news. Just moments ago, our special forces successfully decapitated the entire leadership of the Red Command and dismantled their operational system. The crowd erupted in excitement. So now, they're effectively deaf and blind? Indeed, Jiang Yunlong responded with a smile. The current state of the Red forces resembles a scattered pile of sand, unable to organize any form of defense. Therefore, I have decided to immediately assemble all units for a full-scale assault to completely obliterate the Red forces. Yes, the faces of the crowd radiated enthusiasm, confidence in their imminent victory. The orders were swiftly disseminated. In no time, the Blue Army units surged forward, advancing fearlessly. Deep in the jungle, within a Red Command vehicle, the Chief of Staff gazed at the distant billowing smoke and sighed. Now that the entire command has been obliterated, the Blue Army must have fallen into our trap, right? It's hard not to believe such a grand display. Qian Kuan wore a resigned smile, acknowledging that old fox Jiang Yunlong, no matter how astute he is, could never have anticipated that I would sacrifice the entire command to draw him in. The Chief of Staff nodded. As long as they don't employ individual infiltration tactics to gradually erode our positions, this battle is ours to win. Qian Kuan clenched his fists, a cold smirk playing on his lips. The jungle is our territory. The Blue Army thinks we lack a command system and are a disorganized mass. So they will surely lower their guard and launch a bold offensive. At that moment, we will exploit our advantages and strike them hard. The others shared the same confidence. As long as the Blue Army fell for their ruse and relaxed their vigilance, they could use the terrain to their advantage and seize a substantial victory. Suddenly, the brigade commander spoke up. I wonder how the Tiger Regiment is faring. Will they manage to infiltrate the Blue Command? Qian Kuan's eyes reflected a hint of concern. I hope they succeed. If we win this exercise, even if it ends in a draw, we must express our gratitude. Everyone nodded in agreement. Reflecting on their previous misconceptions about their allies, they felt a deep sense of shame for the unkind words spoken at the outset of the exercise. Meanwhile, at the Red Command, Lin Hui surveyed the billowing smoke surrounding him, his heart brimming with exhilaration. It turned out that bombarding his own command center was far more thrilling than targeting the Blue Army. It was truly exhilarating. He glanced at his comrades and inquired, "Have the personnel from the headquarters evacuated?" The group rolled their eyes in disdain. Evacuated? They fled long ago. Each one darted away faster than a rabbit, practically on the verge of taking flight. It seemed that these individuals were adept at their craft. At the sound of a signal, they took off. What craft? It appeared to be mere instinct. They had previously claimed we wouldn't believe them, yet their speed was astonishing, vanishing in the blink of an eye. Lin Hui chuckled, realizing the truth. The Red faction's members were not merely acting. They were genuinely terrified by the Blue Army, having become accustomed to retreat. Otherwise, how could they have vacated so swiftly? Of course, to make the act more convincing, some sacrifices were necessary. Numerous personnel and combat command vehicles within the command center were rendered inoperative. Fortunately, the equipment had been evacuated earlier. One must not blur the lines between reality and performance. Let us go. Suddenly, Wang Yong pulled the pin from a grenade and hurled it toward the tent where the commander had been stationed. With a resounding bang, the interior was left in disarray, scraps of paper swirling through the air. Lin Hui glared at him. Are you out of your mind? Why blow it up when everyone has already left? Wang Yong grinned. Who told them to speak so unpleasantly before? I must avenge the commander. Even if he is not here, I'll blast his spirit. Beside him, Zhou Zhongyi immediately gave a thumbs up. Well said. This soldier named Wang Yong had a bright future ahead. He was quite perceptive. Not only had he crafted a net bag for Lin Hui in the forest, but now he was also standing up for him. He must be nurtured as a pillar of strength. Lin Hui suddenly interjected. All right, we should be on our way. Huh. Wang Yong looked reluctant. I haven't finished blowing things up yet. Shun Eru also frowned. It's a rare opportunity to blow up our own people. I want to continue. Lin Hui sighed. Grenades don't grow on trees. Save some for when we get to the Blue Army. Everyone, follow me. I will take you to a different venue for some fun. The crowd was filled with excitement. This was exhilarating. After obliterating the Red faction, they would turn their sights on the Blue Army. It was akin to a thrilling game of cat and mouse, reminiscent of a spy film. Just as Lin Hui turned around, he caught sight of a pair of mischievous little eyes watching him from a tree. It was the Monkey King. He had assumed the creature had left, but to his surprise, it had followed him. He waved, "Come here." The monkey promptly bounced over, evidently having decided to stick with him. Lin Hui crouched down, smiling warmly. You've come along to enjoy the good life with me. Haven to you? The monkey appeared to understand, eagerly nodding its head. Lin Hui slipped a banana into the monkey's mouth and suddenly had a brilliant idea. It seemed he could provide the Blue Army commander with a delightful surprise once again. Chapter 109. I am just a tad bit wicked deep within the jungle. On a stretch of desolate land, several massive military tents had been erected, encircled by Blue Army soldiers. This was the temporary command center of the Blue Army. Report. An officer rushed into the tent with great urgency. Under our offensive, the Red faction is retreating steadily, unable to mount any effective resistance. Jiang Yunlong turned away from the map, his face adorned with satisfaction. Without their command center, they are akin to a serpent deprived of its head, unable to wriggle for long. Beside him, the chief of staff chuckled. Commander, shall we launch a full-scale offensive? The previous assaults had merely been exploratory in nature. Having stumbled during the last exercise, Jiang Yunlong understood the necessity of exercising utmost caution this time. The exercise mirrored real combat. He could not afford to become overconfident and assume a position of advantage. Until the final moment, he would not reveal all his cards. Yet now, he had cast aside any lingering doubts. Pointing at the troops below, Jiang Yunlong coldly commanded the 2nd and 3rd regiments. Maneuver through the center of the Red forces and sever all their escape routes. The other 3 regiments will launch an attack from the flanks, while the remaining main force will follow me in a frontal assault. This time, I intend to annihilate the Red forces with a thunderous might, leaving no room for any escapees. Understood. The orders were swiftly disseminated. The Blue Army's main force assembled, marching resolutely toward the forest, poised to initiate their grand assault. In the jungle, Lin Hui and his men moved swiftly. Conceal yourselves, he suddenly whispered, diving into the underbrush, prompting the others to flatten themselves against the ground. Not far ahead, a contingent of the Blue Army was parading by, burdened with heavy weaponry. After a while, once the troops had moved on, the group dared to lift their heads. Suda cast a worried glance into the distance, his expression grim. At this moment, we have encountered the 5th wave. It seems the Blue Army is indeed preparing for a full-scale assault. He turned to Lin Hui, curiosity etched on his face. Lin Hui, do you have any idea where the Blue Army's command center is located? Are you confident you can find it? Not entirely, came Lin Hui's reply. Everyone stared at him in disbelief, their expressions akin to having tasted something foul. Come on, brother, are you joking? How can we wander aimlessly if we don't even know where their command center is? Lin Hui, undeterred by their skepticism, responded with a faint smile. I may not be entirely confident, but I can make an educated guess regarding its general location. He then turned to Zhu Zhongyi. Captain, since you are the commanding officer, there are certain matters I still find perplexing and would appreciate your guidance. Zhu Zhongyi was slightly taken aback. Is there truly something you don't understand? Pray, enlighten me. With a grin, Lin Hui explained, we just encountered numerous blue forces, all advancing in a radial formation toward the forest. Doesn't that imply that if we retrace their steps, we might locate the Blue Army's command center? The others were momentarily taken aback, lacking comprehension in military strategy. They collectively turned their gaze toward Zhu Zhongyi, awaiting his response. Zhu Zhongyi, with a smile, affirmed, you are indeed correct. That is precisely the reasoning. He patted Lin Hui on the shoulder. You have concealed your talents well. Your capacity for reverse thinking is wasted as a mere foot soldier. You ought to be a chief of staff. Little did he know, Lin Hui had grown up in a military family, absorbing knowledge from the discussions of his elders. Immersed in a world of military lore daily, he had unwittingly acquired a wealth of understanding. He simply cannot escape, which is precisely why he harbored such disdain for the military in the past. However, that is all behind him now. The chapter has closed. Lin Hui offered a modest smile, saying, Commander, this is merely a display of my cleverness. If it comes to actual combat, I shall rely on you to manage the grand scheme. Zhou Zhongyi's grin nearly twisted his face, thoroughly enjoying the flattery. All right, let us proceed. With that, the group no longer harbored doubts and continued forward under Lin Hui's lead. Not long after, the sound of vehicles approaching caught their attention. This time, there was no need for Lin Hui to instruct. Everyone instinctively concealed themselves. Before long, a convoy sped past on the narrow road. Unlike an ordinary convoy, many of these vehicles were equipped with antennas. Lin Hui's eyes sparkled with realization. This convoy must belong to the command center of the Blue Army. Suda, recalling the previous experience, nodded in agreement. As the Blue Army advances collectively, their command center will undoubtedly move forward as well. A brigade-level unit would not possess this many communication vehicles. It is safe to ascertain that this is indeed the command center of the Blue Army. Instantly, excitement surged through everyone. It was a case of fortune favoring the bold. They must seize this opportunity. Lin Hui signaled to a few individuals. Wang Yong, Hu, you two come with me. The rest of you stay back. Too many people will attract attention. Understood. Let's go? Lin Hui waved his hand, and the 3 of them darted out, crouched low. An hour later, the Blue Army's convoy finally halted in an open area, beginning to set up camp and erect tents swiftly. Before long, Lin Hui followed the tire tracks to catch up. Zhou Zhongyi, along with the main force, arrived panting behind him. Observing the tents being assembled across from them, Zhou Zhongyi's eyes gleamed with excitement. Given this setup, This is undoubtedly the command center of the Blue Army. What shall we do now? Lin Hui replied. You all will escort me inside. The group exchanged bewildered glances, almost thinking they had misheard. Wang Yong, taken aback, exclaimed, "We go. Aren't we supposed to charge in and wreak havoc? Why would we escort you?" "I refuse to betray my comrades." Lin Hui shot him a glare. "This is part of the plan. You understand nothing." Chen Erhu, with a long face, added, "We go. I intended to infiltrate dressed in their uniforms and blend in. I even brought my gear." At that, he pulled out a large bottle of laxative from his backpack, causing Lin Hui's eyes to widen in shock. "What on earth are you bringing that for?" With a mischievous grin, Chen Erhu replied, "I was thinking of adding it to their food, and when the Blue Army commander is incapacitated, I could take him down with a single shot." This concoction was specially prepared by a veterinarian. It could leave an elephant in distress. Its potency is remarkable. A collective gasp filled the air. If it could debilitate an elephant, what would it do to a human? It was unexpected for Chen Erhu, who appeared so honest and simple-minded, to harbor such cunning. Surely, he must have learned this from Lin Hui. Proximity breeds influence. Lin Hui smacked his forehead in exasperation. "Put that away. Do you truly intend to rely solely on that one trick?" Reluctantly, Chen Erhu complied, tucking the items back into his bag, waiting for a more opportune moment to use them. Lin Hui gazed at the others and spoke gravely. "A battalion is stationed here, equipped with both light and heavy firepower. If we launch a direct assault, the casualties will be catastrophic. Moreover, the area is swarming with Blue Army personnel. If we attract too much attention, no one will escape. You are disguised as Blue Army Special Forces, bringing me in with you. Once inside, I have a plan to eliminate their commander and dismantle their command system." Zhou Zhongyi furrowed his brow and asked, "What if we are recognized?" Lin Hui chuckled darkly. "The faces of Special Forces are all painted with camouflage. It is not so easy to identify them. Besides, the Black Tigers were originally borrowed from another military district. Not everyone in their division has seen them before. Furthermore, have you forgotten that we have the commander's orders? Who would dare impede us?" The group exchanged glances, their faces etched with skepticism. The Blue Army was currently preoccupied with a large-scale offensive, confident of victory. They would certainly not suspect that so many special forces had been covertly swapped out. However, if they were exposed, Lin Hui regarded the anxious faces around him and declared coldly, "The success or failure hinges on this one move. Whether you participate is your choice. But if we lose this battle, our regiment will truly cease to exist." All present felt a tremor of resolve surge through them, their spirits ignited with a fierce determination. "Let us do it. To hell with it. As long as we can secure victory and safeguard our unit, we will charge into the Blue Army's headquarters. Even if it means facing fire and sword." Zhou Zhongyi, equally fervent, added, "Lin Hui, the entire regiment is under your command now. Whatever you say, we shall follow. As long as we can win." Lin Hui smiled slightly. "Rest assured, we shall emerge victorious." He surveyed those disguised as Blue Army Special Forces and lowered his voice. "We will enter first, while the others disperse into the forest. Upon hearing gunfire, converge immediately. We will coordinate our efforts and catch them off guard. As long as we act swiftly, the Blue Army will not be able to respond." "Yes." The group swiftly scattered. Lin Hui donned the Red Army uniform and allowed himself to be escorted forward. As they approached, several guards stepped forward, demanding, "Halt. What is your purpose here?" The group instantly tensed, their bodies rigid with apprehension. Yet, Wang Yong remained composed, raising his head defiantly and declaring, "We are from the Black Tiger Special Operations Team. We captured the one responsible for the last attack on our headquarters in the forest. The commander wishes to see him." The guards immediately fixed their gazes on Lin Hui's face. "Is it him?" "Yes, it is indeed him. I would recognize that face even in ashes. You little brat, you finally fell into our hands. Aren't you so brave? Why not douse yourself in gasoline and give it a try?" Lin Hui scoffed, a smug expression on his face. "This time, I was careless. If not for these old-timers catching me, I would have set your headquarters ablaze." The guards were instantly incensed. "You damn brat. In this state, you still dare to act arrogant? Brothers, give him a good thrashing to teach him a lesson." Just as the group prepared to strike, Wang Yong hurriedly intervened. Wait. If you're going to beat him, it must wait. The commander specifically requested to see him first. He too is eager to give him a good thrashing." The guards snorted, their disdain palpable. It was not just the commander. The entire command staff was eager to deliver a blow to him after the humiliation from the last drill, which had turned the Blue Army into a laughingstock. Especially those stationed at the command post have faced an avalanche of scorn. This time, both old grievances and new enmities converge, and it is imperative to administer a thorough reckoning to this individual. Come in. A guard waved his hand. "In a moment, we shall witness how the commander deals with this scoundrel." As they stepped inside, a collective sigh of relief swept over the crowd, their faces illuminated with triumphant smiles. For they had truly managed to infiltrate. However, upon entering, they were met with a barrage of furious gazes, all fixated on Lin Hui, as if they yearned to tear him limb from limb. Zhou Zhongyi cleared his throat, lowering his voice. Lin Hui, I never realized you were so despised. It seems we still do not know you well. You are even more wicked than we imagined. Lin Hui chuckled. Commander, I am merely a tad mischievous. Everyone rolled their eyes in unison. Indeed, you are a smidgen malevolent, so much so that it has transformed into a fine art of villainy. Observing the ire surrounding him, Lin Hui smirked. The best show is just beginning. Chapter 110. By a stroke of misfortune, you have annihilated your own command post in the exercise directorate. Everyone was engrossed in a flurry of activity. The chief director, Chun Guangming, approached Lin Guangyao. Old Lin, the exercise is nearing its conclusion, and I fear that little Hui may disappoint you this time. Lin Guangyao sighed helplessly. The opportunity he had fought so hard to secure was slipping away. Nevertheless, he had done his utmost, and so had Lin Hui. With a hint of regret, he mused, I should not have harbored such high hopes. After all, he is merely an ordinary soldier. Chun Guangming patted him on the back, offering consolation. This time, the strength of the Blue Army has significantly improved compared to before. Regardless, Lin Hui has given his best effort. His journey is still long, and he will progress in due time. Lin Hui had been in the army for less than a year. Even though the Tiger Battalion had been disbanded, his assignment to another unit would still afford him opportunities to shine. His path ahead remained extensive, and he must learn to grow through adversity. Lin Guangyao turned to his secretary. Once the exercise concludes, please arrange for my return. The secretary inquired. Chief, want to you meet him after the exercise? No need. Lin Guangyao shook his head. After this, he will undoubtedly be quite disheartened. It is better to let him have some time alone. My presence may only add to his distress. The secretary sighed, feeling the weight of a parent's compassion. Lin Guangyao returned to his seat, letting out another weary sigh. When he had sent Lin Hui to the army, his sole hope was that he would endure some trials and emerge as an upright individual. Little did he expect such a profound transformation in the boy. This revelation both astonished and gratified him, for in his eyes, Lin Hui had become a remarkably competent soldier. With a sense of anticipation, Lin Guangyao reflected, Little Hui, the path ahead is one I can no longer pave for you. Whether you choose to stay or depart is entirely up to you. I hope you carve out a road of your own. Boom, boom, boom. The deep woods echoed with the sounds of explosions. A multitude of red soldiers shielded Qian Kuan and the others as they scrambled through the forest in disarray. Soon, they managed to conceal themselves within a thicket, taking a moment to rest. The surrounding guards swiftly dispersed to maintain vigilance. Several commanding officers crouched on the ground, breathless and fatigued. We can't run anymore. If we keep running, we'll be completely lost. One officer swallowed hard and turned to Qian Kuan, asking, Commander, we've been fleeing for so long. Shouldn't we issue the order to counterattack? Qian Kuan steadied his breath and inquired, what is the current situation of our troops? Another officer replied, they have all dispersed as per your instructions. They retreated the moment the Blue Army attacked. The forest is our territory. Although the Blue Army appears fierce, they have not inflicted any significant damage upon us. No one knows the jungle better than we do. Just give the command, and our forces can regroup at any moment to confront the Blue Army in a decisive battle. Qian Kuan nodded. What about the Tiger Brigade? Any news? The officer shook his head. None so far. Qian Kuan hesitated. Then we shall wait a little longer for their updates before we act. The others around him grew anxious. Commander, we cannot afford to wait any longer. If we delay, the Blue Army will truly scatter us. The situation is still within our control. But once our forces are broken, it will be exceedingly difficult to reorganize. Qian Kuan asserted sternly. Since we have committed to cooperating with them, we must see it through to the end. Abruptly abandoning our post is unacceptable. Moreover, we are not yet in a position to engage the Blue Army head-on. Should we initiate combat, they will realize they've been deceived, and we will find ourselves at a disadvantage. A brigade commander, filled with urgency, interjected, Commander, I understand your good intentions, but what if the Tiger Brigade has already been compromised? Another officer nodded in agreement. They have not contacted us for quite some time. They could very well have been eliminated by the Blue Army. The forest is teeming with enemies. This is not an impossible scenario. We truly cannot wait any longer. If our forces are scattered, we will lose our opportunity. Qian Kuan found himself in a dilemma. The Red Army was significantly outmatched by the Blue Army, and a hasty offensive would likely yield little success. The longer they delayed, the more unfavorable the situation became. After a moment of contemplation, he reached a decision. 1 more hour. If we have not received any news by then, we will take action. Understood. The group, though resigned, nodded, each harboring a sense of despair. Qian Kuan too was placing his bet on the Tiger Brigade's success. Otherwise, he would not have pushed against the tide of dissent to delay for another hour. In the theater of war, Even a minute's delay could prove catastrophic. Clenching his fists and gritting his teeth, he muttered, "Zhou Zhongyi, for heaven's sake, muster your strength. We have only 1 hour. You must succeed." Meanwhile, in the Blue Army command post, a group of officers gathered around a map, gleefully strategizing. Here, and here, everywhere we have conquered. The Red Army is nothing more than a stray dog. Seizing the opportunity, they resolve to mobilize all their forces for a powerful strike. This is how we will render the Red Army utterly devoid of combat capability. Jiang Yunlong stood up, thumping the table with pride, "Since we are all in agreement, let us cease the charade of hide and seek. Relay the order to all regiments to advance at full speed, aiming to annihilate them within 5 hours and secure our victory." Yes. At that moment, a subordinate rushed in, exclaiming, "Commander, the Black Tiger's men have captured the individual who previously annihilated our command center, and he is confined in the adjacent tent." Jiang Yunlong, filled with elation, thought to himself, "Finally, this scoundrel is in my grasp. Let us go take a look." The memory of the recent attack on sensitive areas ignited a fire within him, and he resolved to humiliate the captured foe thoroughly. He swiftly gathered his men, ensuring the orders were disseminated promptly. As Jiang Yunlong lifted the tent flap and entered, he beheld Lin Hui, bound with ropes, seated on a military cot. A few special forces operatives stood guard, overseeing the detention. Upon entering, Jiang Yunlong's gaze fixated on Lin Hui, and a wave of satisfaction washed over him. With his hands clasped behind his back, he grinned and appraised Lin Hui, saying, "Ah, we meet again. You were quite arrogant last time, weren't you? Enjoying self-immolation, were you? Care to demonstrate again?" Lin Hui flashed a grin in response. "One must keep things fresh. I can't keep killing myself. Besides, if I were dead, how could I possibly eliminate you?" Jiang Yunlong burst into laughter. "You're already a prisoner, and yet you still ponder how to take me down?" The others joined in mocking laughter. "Here you are, in such a predicament, and you still possess such bravado. Do you not fear a beating?" Lin Hui, with a twinkle in his eye, retorted, "Who has to say who will strike whom?" Jiang Yunlong shook his head, looking at him with disdain. "Such sharp-tongued wit. Even in your dire situation, I speak only the truth." Lin Hui replied coolly, "Some matters should not be hastily concluded until the final moment. Otherwise, one might find themselves with an egg on their face." Jiang Yunlong laughed heartily. "What now? You think you can still jest at this stage?" Suddenly, he froze, noticing that the special forces soldiers beside him were grinning mischievously. Jiang Yunlong's brow furrowed with dread. "Why do you look unfamiliar? Who are you?" The special forces soldier chuckled. "Commander, do you not recognize us in different attire? We are from the Red faction." Stunned, Jiang Yunlong and his men were taken aback. And just as he opened his mouth to call for help, gunfire erupted. Bang, bang, bang. Wang Yong and his comrades unleashed a barrage, enveloping the command center in a cloud of crimson smoke. Jiang Yunlong felt several dark spots appear on his chest, resembling a row of buttons. As he stood there in disbelief, completely dazed, Lin Hui untied his hands with a smile and stood up. "Apologies, Commander, but it seems I inadvertently decapitated your forces again." Jiang Yunlong's face twisted with rage as he shouted, "You scoundrel! Must you always resort to the same trick? Can't you employ a different tactic?" Lin Hui chuckled. "I cannot. This is my signature move. One effective technique will suffice. Besides, against you bunch of rotten vegetables, do I need anything novel? Just eliminating you will do." The entire Blue Army command was nearly driven to the brink of apoplexy. This fellow was utterly shameless. Chapter 111. A two-tiered reversal. Even the director is stunned in the Red Army command post. Everyone was in a frenzy, as frantic as ants on a hot stove. A chief of staff rolled up his sleeves, anxiously declaring, "Commander, it has already been 40 minutes. Qian Kuan maintained a composed expression, responding, "Let us wait a little longer." The chief of staff, drenched in sweat, exclaimed in urgency, "What are we waiting for? The fire is already at our heels." At that moment, an officer rushed in, breathless with urgency, to report, "Sir, 2 companies from the 5th Regiment encountered an ambush during their retreat, and all have perished. The 2nd Battalion has come under a fierce assault from the main force of the Blue Army, suffering severe losses, with less than a third of our troops remaining." The chief of staff, in a state of alarm, turned to the division commander and jumped up in desperation. "Commander, we cannot afford to wait any longer. Not even a minute. If we delay further, we will lose our chance." All eyes fixated intently on Qian Kuan. He clenched his fists, torn by indecision. The news from the Tiger Regiment was still awaited, and the situation on the battlefield was dire. If he did not issue the order to attack soon, it might truly be too late. Just as he was about to speak, a nearby messenger suddenly stood up and shouted, "Commander, we have news from the Tiger Regiment. Quickly, hand it to me." Qian Kuan rushed forward and grabbed the communicator. The others quickly gathered around, straining to listen. "This is Qian Kuan. What is the situation on your end?" Lin Hui chuckled. The upper echelons of the Blue Army's command have all been decapitated, and their operational system is completely paralyzed. I'm currently calling you from the Blue Army command post. Upon hearing this, everyone's eyes widened in astonishment. Had they truly succeeded? Qian Kuan finally felt a weight lift off his shoulders and sighed in relief. Is what you say true? If not, you might as well ask the Blue Army commander yourself. Lin Hui promptly thrust the communicator into Jiang Yunlong's face, grinning. Comrade Chief, our division commander wishes to speak with you and inquire if you have indeed been taken down by us. Jiang Yunlong trembled with rage. Such a psychological blow. His words spattered the microphone with anger. Get lost, you bastard. Hearing Jiang Yunlong's furious tirade, a broad smile finally spread across Qian Kuan's face. Ha! Such foul language. This old rascal Jiang Yunlong must have no way out. You all performed splendidly. Once this is over, I will personally commend your regiment. Lin Hui replied with a beaming smile. Thank you, Commander. With the communication ended, Qian Kuan felt a surge of relief. The others seemed as if they had swallowed a calming pill. These fellows were truly formidable. They had indeed overrun the Blue Army command post. One chief of staff remarked, I sensed early on that the Tiger Regiment was exceptional. I was right, huh? The others shot him a glare, recalling how he had been the most anxious just moments ago. Are you really this fickle? Qian Kuan, with a beaming smile, immediately commanded. The path ahead has been cleared by the Tiger Regiment. Now, it is our turn. With the Blue Army command post lost, he ordered, relay the command to consolidate the entire division and concentrate our forces to strike hard against their two main regiments. Let them charge with all their might and fury. We must annihilate them. Yes. Everyone nodded enthusiastically and promptly issued the orders. Soon, the Red forces began to rapidly assemble, launching targeted counterattacks. Meanwhile, outside the command center of the Blue Army, gunfire echoed everywhere. Lin Hui sat across from Jiang Yunlong, grinning as he observed the latter's face, which bore an expression more grotesque than that of someone who had ingested 100 flies. Zhou Zhongyi also pulled up a chair, chuckling as he watched the scene unfold. Opportunities to decapitate a commander were rare, and he felt compelled to revel in this moment. Jiang Yunlong, infuriated by the mischievous grins of the two, felt as though his blood might boil over. Had they not yet seen enough? Lin Hui cheerfully remarked, we merely wish to appreciate the commander's visage. Jiang Yunlong's lips twitched uncontrollably. You scoundrel, I'm not dead yet. It was indeed a grave oversight, allowing this brat to exploit a moment of weakness once again. If he didn't give Lin Hui a proper beating, his wrath would remain unresolved. With a cold sneer, he glared at Lin Hui, saying, you truly possess audacity. Having evaded me last time, yet you present yourself again? I wonder if the directorate will send someone to rescue you this time. Lin Hui and Zhou Zhongyi exchanged glances and burst into laughter, leaving Jiang Yunlong bewildered. What are you laughing at? You're about to get beaten, yet you find joy in this. With your meager numbers, do you think you can escape the command center? Lin Hui looked at him earnestly and said, Chief, are you not aware of the current situation? Come, let me show you outside. He led the utterly confounded Jiang Yunlong outside. Upon witnessing the surrounding chaos, Jiang Yunlong was rendered speechless. All around him were Red Army troops, at least a battalion strong. His single company's forces could not withstand such an onslaught, and soon, they were decimated. Jiang Yunlong felt a buzzing in his head. How could an entire battalion infiltrate the command center without his knowledge? Where were the scouts on the perimeter? Had they all perished? And what of the special forces, renowned for their counter-reconnaissance skills? Suddenly, Jiang Yunlong noticed that many of the Red troops were clad in Blue Army Special Forces uniforms, and he was instantly filled with rage. Damn it, have you been bribed by the Reds? Last time, it was your incompetence that cost me dearly. And now, once again, it is you. He seethed. What kind of special forces are you? Where has all the funding gone? You've allowed a conventional unit to annihilate you. It's utterly disgraceful. Lin Hui, still smiling, asked. Comrade Chief, I shall stand here motionless, inviting you to strike. This time, I will not douse you in gasoline. Come, kill me. Jiang Yunlong looked on in disbelief. With so many of you here, who will strike whom? If I give the order, I will be the one who gets beaten. He shot a fierce glare at Lin Hui. You clever brat, this time, I concede defeat. Lin Hui chuckled. I graciously accept your concession. Zhou Zhongyi, filled with excitement, punched Lin Hui on the shoulder, unable to articulate his exhilaration. The others around them also brimmed with exuberance, for they knew this battle had been fought magnificently, and the Tiger Battalion was surely safe. Meanwhile, at the Exercise Directorate, an officer rushed to Chun Guangming, saluting urgently. Report, Director. The latest news. The Blue Army Command Center has been completely annihilated. The commander has been decapitated, and the Blue Army is now in a state of total disarray. What? Chun Guangming turned his head in disbelief, exclaiming, what on earth is happening? Beside him, Lin Guangyao abruptly rose to his feet. Given the earlier developments, it seemed the Blue Army was on the brink of victory. How could such a dramatic reversal occur so suddenly? Even he, a seasoned commander with years of combat experience, was at a loss. Could it be that the Red Army had summoned a celestial being? An officer reported, "Sir, it was a regiment from the Red Army." Chun Guangming immediately inquired, "Which regiment?" "The Tiger Regiment." The officer succinctly explained, "We have just uncovered that the Red Army command had been present all along. They feigned their demise, collaborated with the Tiger Regiment to eliminate the Blue Army's special forces, and stealthily infiltrated the Blue Army command center under the guise of their identities." Upon hearing this, Chun Guangming was left speechless. This plan was utterly audacious. It was truly a strategy that one could scarcely imagine. A level of meticulousness that no textbook could encapsulate. Wait a moment. A whole regiment from the Red Army infiltrated the Blue Army command? What was that scoundrel Jiang Yunlong doing that he failed to detect this? Was their defense merely a facade, nothing but a decorative screen? Lin Guangyao, equally astonished, could not fathom such a staggering turnaround in the battle. With this turn of events, the battlefield dynamics would undoubtedly shift in favor of the Red Army. After all, jungle warfare was the Red Army's forte. In the absence of effective command, even with superior numbers, the Blue Army would find it exceedingly difficult to withstand the Red Army's coordinated assault. At that moment, a smile crept across Lin Guangyao's lips. He was certain that this scheme was orchestrated by Lin Hui, for no one else could wreak such havoc with such finesse. Lin Guangyao's lips curled into a slight smile. "You little rascal, you almost had me fooled. It seems I truly underestimated you." 6 hours later, the Red Army concentrated its forces and swiftly annihilated 2 main regiments of the Blue Army, systematically dismantling the remainder of their troops, resulting in over 70% casualties for the Blue Army. Without a command system, the remaining 2 regiments were unable to mount an effective offense. Thus, the directing committee declared a victory for the Red Army in this exercise. As the exercise concluded, the high-ranking officials from both the Red and Blue Armies gathered at the directing committee. Upon entering, Jiang Yunlong was greeted by the beaming face of Qian Kuan, who exclaimed, "Ha ha ha, old Jiang, I've been waiting for you here for quite a while. How do you like that grand gift I prepared for you?" Jiang Yunlong's expression darkened. "Enough with the ostentation. Had it not been for your underhanded tactics, could you have really won?" Qian Kuan, brimming with self-satisfaction, retorted, "What do you mean by underhanded? Do you understand tactics?" "Nonsense tactics." Jiang Yunlong, exasperated, shot back, "You are clearly resorting to deceitful tricks, you old schemer." Had it been any other time, Qian Kuan would have been furious. However, witnessing Jiang Yunlong's current demeanor filled him with delight. "All's fair in war. My strategy is simply to protect my assets while ensnaring the enemy. If I hadn't acted this way, how could you have fallen for it so easily and exposed your vulnerabilities? Well, you've lost, so just admit it gracefully. Perhaps next time you'll remember the lesson." Jiang Yunlong erupted in fury, exclaiming, "You have no right to lecture me." Qian Kuan chuckled heartily. "I merely offered a suggestion. Why are you so agitated?" Suddenly, he noticed 2 rows of button-like dots on Jiang Yunlong's attire and burst into laughter. "Old Jiang, your clothing is rather unique. It looks quite fashionable, reminiscent of a sow nursing her piglets." Jiang Yunlong's face flushed crimson, attributing the humiliation to those mischievous scoundrels. "They fire so many shots, as if they fear I won't survive." "Commander." Jiang Yunlong turned to find Li Meng standing behind him, his eyes blazing with anger. "How dare you show your face here?" Li Meng, visibly distressed, replied, "I apologize. It was our oversight that allowed the red team to exploit a gap." Jiang Yunlong glared at him. "I suspect it was intentional. Are you a spy sent by the red team? Last time during the drill, it was your negligence that allowed those 4 rats to escape, and now it's happened again. What do you call yourselves, special forces? You can't even handle a bunch of ordinary troops. Has your training gone to the dogs?" Li Meng wished for nothing more than to vanish into a hole. The esteemed special forces, each a king among soldiers and regular troops, had embarrassingly faltered twice against the enemy. He hastily defended, "Commander, we do have significant issues. But the red team is exceedingly cunning. We've never encountered a drill where they were unarmed, and they even brought a troop of monkeys." "Stop making excuses." Jiang Yunlong spat. "They were naked, yet they still managed to trounce you thoroughly. I overlooked your last drill when you caught wild boars. But now you've been bested by a group of monkeys, and you still dare to call yourself special forces?" As Li Meng was drenched in verbal onslaught, Qian Kuan quickly intervened. "All right, let us tone it down. You can't place all the blame on them." Li Meng looked up gratefully, appreciating Qian Kuan's intervention. Jiang Yunlong scoffed and turned away. Qian Kuan grinned. "Actually, the fault lies with me. Our red team is simply too formidable. I should have restrained myself and just subdued you at the outset." Jiang Yunlong and Li Meng exchanged glances, their expressions incredulous at his audacity. At that moment, an officer from the directorate stepped forward to announce, "Everyone, the exercise debriefing is about to begin." The group filed into the conference hall. Qian Kuan observed Jiang Yunlong storming ahead in anger, feeling an inexplicable sense of satisfaction. He turned to his subordinate. Bring Lin Hui to me. Yes, sir. Before long, Lin Hui was brought before him. Greeting. Good day, Commander. Qian Kuan smiled slightly. The debriefing is commencing. Come, join us. Lin Hui hesitated, waving his hands. Commander, this isn't appropriate. The attendees are all high-ranking officials from the exercise, and I'm just a lowly soldier. Qian Kuan patted his shoulder. Your commander has already informed me that this exercise's success is largely thanks to you. Though you may be an ordinary soldier, you are a great contributor. Moreover, you arranged many of the operational details. Should the director inquire, it's best to have someone capable to respond. Nearby, Zhou Zhongyi winked at him. The battle is over. Why are you still being polite? Let us go. Lin Hui chuckled and offered a salute, exclaiming, yes. Soon, the conference room was filled to capacity, with all the senior officials from both the red and blue teams present. Shun Guangming instructed the staff to quickly replay the exercise video. After the footage concluded, he turned to the red team members seated on his left, stating, this exercise showcased the red team's exceptional performance. In the face of such adversity, you managed to turn the tide and emerge victorious. Truly commendable for a seasoned unit with extensive combat experience. The jungle is indeed your domain. Qian Kuan held his head high, a triumphant grin plastered across his face as he looked at Jiang Yunlong. The sight of Qian Kuan's smug expression filled Jiang Yunlong with resentment. Shun Guangming continued, you exhibited style and spirit throughout this exercise, particularly when the opposing forces had overwhelming aerial and ground superiority. Such a performance is remarkable. Were it not for the Blue Army's advanced weaponry, you would have triumphed much earlier. Indeed, Qian Kuan humbly remarked, if we had special forces and high-tech support, the Blue Army would not have lasted this long. The Blue Army members seethed with rage, their teeth grinding audibly. Jiang Yunlong abruptly stood up, exclaiming, Director, I contest this. They clearly employed deceit. Shun Guangming furrowed his brow as he regarded him. What do you contest? You have already been defeated. What is there to contest? Jiang Yunlong's face flushed crimson. The red team cheated during the exercise. They were practically naked, without any identifying marks, looking like wild men. Who wouldn't be alarmed if they encountered them in the forest? Furthermore, what was the purpose of bringing a bunch of monkeys into battle? Is this warfare or mere nonsense? Zhou Zhongyi rose to speak. Comrade Commander, we cannot dismiss this so lightly. Our actions were rooted in reason. Allow me to have one of my soldiers explain our rationale. Lin Hui, Zhou called. Yes. Lin Hui stood up, a smile gracing his face as he addressed Jiang Yunlong. Comrade Commander, our red team adheres to the principle that exercises should mirror real combat. Since we were fighting in the jungle, we had to adapt our approach. Jiang Yunlong glared at him, but there was no need to be bare-skinned, lacking even smoke detectors. How could we improperly? Lin Hui chuckled. The jungle is humid and stifling. Clothing is simply impractical. We shed our garments for agility. As for the smoke detectors, they are integrated into our helmets. If you can hit us, we will still fall. The crucial point is that you cannot strike us. Who else can you blame? Jiang Yunlong's face turned beet red with indignation. And what of the monkeys? Why did you bring so many monkeys into this? Is this a circus performance? Lin Hui replied with a smile. Commander, monkeys are our good friends. You may deploy military dogs to pursue us, so why can't we enlist the help of monkeys? What I did not anticipate was that your special forces could not even handle a group of monkeys and suffered such a humiliating defeat. The Blue Army members nearly experienced collective apoplexy. With so many special forces, how could they be bested by a mere troop of monkeys? It was truly a bizarre tale. Thankfully, Li Ming had not entered, or he might have been compelled to take drastic action. Seeing Jiang Yunlong rendered speechless with frustration, Lin Hui continued, warfare is never static. The red team was inherently at a disadvantage. How could we possibly maintain a solid formation and engage you in a conventional positional battle? You possess formidable firepower, elite special forces, and advanced technology, while we are left with nothing. Jiang Yunlong trembled with rage, yet found himself unable to refute the claims made against him. The truth of their statements gnawed at his insides, leaving him with a bitter resentment. Qian Kuan rose with an air of smugness, proclaiming, do you see? Even a soldier from our red team comprehends these principles, yet you, as the commander, fail to grasp them? Shun Guangming nodded in agreement, sternly admonishing Jiang Yunlong. It seems your ideological awareness is still lacking. A mere soldier has articulated it clearly, yet you remain discontented? Moreover, I am aware that in the previous exercise, you met your demise at the hands of this soldier, and now you have fallen to him once again. Jiang Yunlong's face flushed crimson, wishing he could vanish into the ground. The notion of being bested twice by a lowly soldier was utterly humiliating. Observing his silence, Shun Guangming let out a cold snort, stating, in summary, your blue team exhibited significant errors during this exercise. Had you not underestimated your opponent, such a dire defeat would not have occurred. Upon your return, I expect a thorough self-reflection, especially from you. The commander, I demand a 3,000-word self-critique. Yes, Jiang Yunlong replied, his expression one of despair as he cast a fierce glare at Lin Hui. You little rascal, are you here to sabotage me? Do not let me see you again. If I do, I shall avoid you at every turn. Chapter 113. The best time for celebration is with a toast. With the meeting concluded, the various units were gradually escorted back. Outside the director's office, Qian Kuan turned to Zhou Zhongyi and said, Commander Zhou, I spoke harshly before the exercise, and I hope you can forgive me. I should not have harbored prejudices without understanding your capabilities. Zhou Zhongyi waved his hand dismissively. Chief, I truly did not take it to heart. Besides, at that time, you were unaware of our level. Anyone in your position would have reacted similarly. Qian Kuan nodded appreciatively. The success of this exercise is largely thanks to your Tiger Brigade. Rest assured, I will personally advocate for you to safeguard your unit. Zhou Zhongyi's eyes sparkled with excitement. This was precisely what he desired. Thank you, Chief. Qian Kuan then turned to Lin Hui, a smile gracing his face. Lin Hui, your contributions in this exercise were unparalleled. Without your cunning strategies, victory would have eluded us. Lin Hui chuckled. Chief, I shall take that as a compliment. Qian Kuan confirmed. Indeed, I commend you. While your methods may be unscrupulous, the end justifies the means. You should have seen Jiang Yunlong's expression. He was as furious as a boiled liver. He scrutinized Lin Hui, posing a serious inquiry. You are a talent. Would you consider joining our division? If you agree, I shall offer you the finest treatment and resources. Zhou Zhongyi nearly choked on his own blood, exclaiming, I am still here, and you are attempting to poach my personnel right in front of me? He quickly interjected, Chief, Lin Hui is a key candidate for development within our division, and furthermore, our commander, Qian Kuan raised a hand to interrupt, casting a sharp glare at him. I am conversing with young Lin. Kindly refrain from interrupting. He fixed his appreciative gaze on Lin Hui, unabashedly expressing admiration. Should you choose to join us? The terms are entirely negotiable. Promotions or advancements are no issue. I could even assign you to lead our division's finest reconnaissance company. Zhou Zhongyi's eyes nearly bulged out of their sockets. Such treatment would stir anyone's heart. After all, Lin Hui, at this moment, was merely a private, and to leap to the position of company commander was akin to reaching the heavens. Without a moment's hesitation, Lin Hui declined, saying, Commander, I appreciate your kindness, but I would prefer to remain with our division, to stay with the Tiger Regiment. Qian Kuan was momentarily taken aback. Even if the Tiger Regiment is preserved, your development here will be constrained. You possess remarkable talent and quick thinking. You ought to showcase your abilities in a more suitable environment. Zhou Zhongyi was flabbergasted. Damn it. I just helped you win a battle, and now you turn your back on me? Are you implying that our regiment is inferior to yours, and that your people are more capable? Lin Hui looked at Qian Kuan and asserted, Commander, the Tiger Regiment is my home, and I will not leave it, now or in the future. You must have heard that our participation in the exercises was to ensure the preservation of this home. It is precisely for this reason that all the talents in the Tiger Regiment are giving their utmost during the drills. Qian Kuan gazed intently at him, while Zhou Zhongyi's eyes misted over. A soldier like Lin Hui, who values loyalty and camaraderie, is truly a rarity these days. Qian Kuan sighed, resigned. Very well. Since you are unwilling, I shall not press the matter. However, your performance in this exercise has been outstanding, and you will certainly receive the recognition you deserve. Lin Hui smiled and saluted. Thank you, Commander. Just then, a voice from the director's office interrupted. Lin Hui paused, and Qian Kuan patted his shoulder. Go on. The chief director likely has some matters to discuss with you. Lin Hui nodded and turned to enter the director's office. Uncle Chen, go in, someone is waiting for you. Chen Guangming said, standing outside and gesturing toward a room. Confused, Lin Hui lifted the curtain and stepped inside. There stood a tall figure. A strand of wheat and 2 stars adorned the man's shoulders. He was a general. This silhouette seemed oddly familiar. Lin Hui quickly straightened up and saluted, reporting to the commander. Lin Hui from the Tiger Regiment's 6th Company, at your service. The general slowly turned around, and upon seeing his face, Lin Hui nearly lost his legs in shock. Father. Lin Guangyao looked at him, amused by his astonished expression. Am I really that frightening? He scoffed, though he still let out a cold grunt. What? Surprised to see your father? Lin Hui swallowed hard. A bit, yes. Under the scrutinizing gaze of Lin Guangyao, Lin Hui felt his calves weaken. Having been rebellious since childhood, he had endured frequent beatings. Breaking 2 or 3 belts a year was quite commonplace. Consequently, his relationship with his father had always been strained. Otherwise, he would not have been forced into military service. As Lin Guangyao approached him, extending his hand, Lin Hui instinctively took a step back. This was a reflex. Having faced so many beatings in his youth, his body had developed a muscle memory. Although he had traversed to this world, inheriting all of the original owner's memories, Such reactions were instinctive. Lin Guangyao withdrew his hand, a bittersweet smile gracing his face. What are you hiding from? During the drills, you decimated the Blue Army, even vanquishing the commander twice, nearly igniting the gasoline. Are you still afraid of me? Lin Hui chuckled awkwardly. It is only natural for a son to fear his father. Besides, you are a general, and I am but a lowly soldier. His primary concern remained the pain, for the system had not equipped him with any formidable resilience. Lin Guangyao burst into hearty laughter, delivering a playful punch to Lin Hui's chest. You rascal! You performed admirably in the exercises, leading an entire regiment in infiltration. Even I, an old commander, must concede that you indeed possess remarkable talent. War is never static, though your methods may be a tad unscrupulous. Any means that lead to victory is a commendable approach. Lin Hui grinned. Absolutely, I am a combat genius. Lin Guangyao smirked. Flattering you has made you quite puffed up. He regarded Lin Hui, inhaling deeply before speaking. You have undergone a significant transformation, finally resembling a respectable individual. However, I must acknowledge that forcing you into the military without your consent was indeed my fault. Lin Hui stared in astonishment, his eyes wide as if caught in a dream. In his memory, he had never seen his father concede. Was he truly apologizing? Unthinkable. He must be attempting to dig an even deeper pit for me. Lin Guangyao continued. I should not have imposed my will upon you, coercing you into military service. Each person has their own path. Although we hail from a military family, I should have respected your choices. Nevertheless, you have demonstrated through your actions that you possess the capability to excel in any endeavor you undertake. Henceforth, I shall no longer compel you to pursue paths you do not favor. Lin Hui was momentarily taken aback, feeling somewhat lost. Lin Guangyao patted his shoulder, smiling as he said, You are now a seasoned soldier. With the great reforms sweeping the military, if you wish to retire, you may do so without my obstruction. I believe that whatever you choose to pursue in the future, you will undoubtedly excel. With that, he patted Lin Hui's shoulder once more and turned to leave, leaving Lin Hui standing there like a statue, his mind swirling in confusion. Previously, he had indeed contemplated leaving the military daily. Yet, the experiences he had encountered and the people he had met had transformed him. Here, he had comrades who fought alongside him, brothers who were inseparable, and the sweat and effort he had invested. Returning to his senses, Lin Hui wore a wry smile. Father, you can't do this to me. Why couldn't you have told me sooner? Just as I have finally decided to stay, you present me with a choice? Lin Hui, we should head back. The regiment commander announced. Once we return, there will be a celebration banquet with plenty of delicious food. I am famished. Just then, the voices of Wang Yong and Chun Eru echoed from outside. Lin Hui's body jolted, warmth surging within him. He laughed as he dashed out of the tent, striding towards the main body of the Tiger Regiment. I'm coming. From a distance, Lin Guangyao sat in the vehicle, watching with slightly misty eyes as he beheld his son transform from a wayward youth into an exemplary soldier, shouldering the weighty responsibility of safeguarding the nation. His heart was filled with pride and satisfaction. Regardless of the circumstances, Lin Hui had made his own choice. As a father, Lin Guangyao desired nothing more than to witness his son soar higher and venture further. The secretary glanced at the rearview mirror and inquired with concern, Chief, why are your eyes so red? Lin Guangyao waved his hand dismissively. It's nothing, just some sand got in my eyes. Let's head back. The secretary nodded and quickly started the car. On the journey home, Lin Guangyao couldn't suppress a joyful smile. After all, my son Lin Hui is truly remarkable. A culmination of talent and effort, just as I am. In the evening, at the Tiger Brigade's mess hall, dish after dish was served. Zhou Zhongyi brought a box of beer, setting it on the table with excitement. Today, the Tiger Brigade returns triumphant. Everyone must drink to their heart's content. Especially you. Lin Hui, our greatest hero. You must drink more. This feast is for you. Absolutely. Lin Hui exclaimed with a grin. Zhang Jiantao stood up. Commander, we have only beer. What about some liquor? This beer is merely for rinsing our mouths. Zhou Zhongyi shot him a glare. What's the rush? Let's start with beer. If I only serve you liquor, I won't be able to keep up. Laughter erupted among the group. Soldiers were known for their capacity to drink. Whether beer or liquor, as long as the commander was willing to provide liquor, they would down it without hesitation. At that time, the prohibition on alcohol had not yet been fully enforced. As long as they were not in a state of full readiness or alert, drinking was generally permissible. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many units specifically supplied with alcohol. Moreover, the soldiers' training for headbutts required an abundance of the potent green liquor, all cultivated through drinking. Zhou Zhongyi raised his glass. Today, we shall not leave until we are inebriated. Cheers. Lin Hui and the others lifted their glasses and downed their drinks in one go. After finishing a glass of beer, everyone burst into hearty laughter. Refreshing. Lin Hui looked at the ecstatic faces around him, feeling genuine happiness from the bottom of his heart. He had often frequented bars in the past, indulging in fine wines, but at that moment, he realized that no previous drink could compare to the sweet flavor of today's celebratory toast. Drinking with men brought forth a sense of camaraderie and true emotion, far surpassing the triviality of bar outings. Before he knew it, 2 days had slipped by. On that morning, an urgent whistle suddenly pierced the air. Lin Hui opened his eyes and immediately sprang from his bed. "Wake up! Emergency assembly!" Wang Yong jumped up as well. "What is happening? Are we being disbanded again?" Lin Hui smacked him on the head. "Bah! You jinx! Hurry up and get outside." Oh. Everyone hurriedly dressed, rushing out in a flurry. Chapter 114. Truly the offspring of a military lineage, though his methods may lack integrity. Everyone quickly gathered on the playground, standing in formation. However, after waiting for a while, no one came to announce the reason for the assembly. "What is going on? I don't know. Who blew the assembly whistle and disturbed my sleep?" The crowd appeared bewildered, even beginning to murmur amongst themselves. Zhang Jiantao quietly asked Zhou Zhongyi, "Commander, what is happening?" Zhou Zhongyi, taken aback, turned around and exclaimed, "You ask me? Who should I ask? Wasn't it you who blew the assembly whistle?" Zhang Jiantao, bewildered, responded, "No, I was in the restroom when the whistle blew. I barely had time to wipe before rushing over." Zhou Zhongyi instinctively stepped aside, maintaining a prudent distance, his face etched with confusion. For no apparent reason. Who called for an emergency assembly? At that moment, a group of individuals approached from afar. "Stand ready. The commander is coming." Zhou Zhongyi's heart raced, and he quickly called out a warning. Instantly, everyone straightened their posture, heads held high, exuding an aura of pride. As the commander drew closer, Zhou Zhongyi bellowed, "Salute." In unison, everyone shouted, "Greetings, Commander." With a swift motion, they saluted in perfect harmony. Lu Qingsong nodded slightly in acknowledgement and reciprocated the salute. Zhou Zhongyi proclaimed loudly, "The Tiger Battalion is comprised of 893 personnel, all present. Please give your orders, Commander." Lu Qingsong surveyed the crowd and commanded, "At ease. Step forward." Everyone promptly extended their left foot. "Stand at attention." With a resounding clap, they all firmly planted their feet. Lu Qingsong, with a warm smile, remarked, during this thunder exercise, "Your performance has been exceptionally commendable. Not only did you embody the spirit of the Tiger Battalion, but you also showcased remarkable flair. The commander of the Red faction praised you profusely over the phone and even mentioned sending us cigarettes and liquor as a token of appreciation, all thanks to your efforts." Laughter erupted among the ranks, with Lin Hui joining in, realizing that the leader from the Red faction was indeed a man of substance. Nothing speaks more profoundly than tangible rewards. Waving his hand dismissively, Lu Qingsong continued, "However, these material rewards are secondary. What truly brings me joy is your outstanding performance during the exercise. The Tiger Battalion, being mechanized infantry, has never engaged in jungle or mountainous warfare. Yet your first foray into the forest yielded such impressive results that I am truly astounded." He chuckled. Even the higher-ups specifically commended our battalion, stating that the Tiger Battalion has forged a path through adversity, a commendable spirit indeed. Zhou Zhongyi turned to Lin Hui, his face beaming with pride. It was thanks to this young man that they had undergone a month of intensive training in jungle assault. Without him, they would have been ill-prepared for jungle warfare. The entire group cast their respectful gazes upon Lin Hui. Without him, their success in this exercise would have been impossible. Lin Hui felt a surge of pride, akin to a magnificent rooster, thinking, if only the training period had been longer, we could have performed even better. Lu Qingsong regarded Lin Hui with a nod of approval, stating, "Truly, you are a descendant of a military lineage. Your talent for warfare runs in your blood, though your tactics could use some refinement. Nevertheless, you exhibit no faults." He continued, "Today, in addition to commending you, I have another announcement to make." The atmosphere grew tense with anticipation as everyone perked up their ears, and Lin Hui's eyes sparkled with excitement. The moment they had all strived for was finally at hand. Lu Qingsong solemnly declared, "Following discussions at our headquarters and after petitioning the higher-ups, we have decided to temporarily rescind the order for your battalion's dissolution. Yes, the unit is safe. We won't have to leave, not a single one of us." Cheers and jubilant shouts resonated across the playground. Observing the exuberance of his comrades, Zhou Zhongyi felt a surge of emotion, his eyes glistening with unshed tears. Yet, with a smile, he admonished the crowd, "Discipline, maintain military decorum, stand in formation." Lu Qingsong watched with a gentle smile, harboring no resentment but rather sharing in their joy. The military, while steeled with unyielding discipline, also embodies warmth and camaraderie. Had he been a soldier in the Tiger Regiment, he would have felt even greater elation upon witnessing their hard-earned rewards. As he cleared his throat, an immediate hush fell over the assembly, although the excitement and joy on their faces remained palpable. Lu Qingsong then spoke earnestly, "Do not rejoice too soon. The absence of immediate disbandment does not guarantee future security. The reforms sweeping across the military are inevitable and affect all, not just your unit. Assessments will continue, and those who do not meet standards will be let go. If you wish to remain, you must strive diligently. Yes, came the unified roar of the soldiers. Securing their place within the regiment, they recognized the rarity of this opportunity and pledged to exert even greater effort moving forward. Satisfied, Lu Qingsong nodded, expressing his hope that they would persist in their endeavors, remaining humble in victory and resilient in defeat, upholding the spirit of the Tiger Regiment without abandonment or surrender. All right, you are dismissed. Excitedly, the soldiers scattered, bounding back with exuberance. Lu Qingsong observed them with a smile. Commander, thank you. Zhou Zhongyi approached him, saluting with utmost respect. No need for gratitude, Lu Qingsong replied. You should thank yourselves. This is the fruit of your labor. By the way, may I inquire about something? Zhou Zhongyi nodded. What is it? Lu Qingsong, with a hint of curiosity, asked. I heard that during your exercises, you all performed naked and even enlisted the help of monkeys. When will you be training monkeys again? Zhou Zhongyi's face flushed with embarrassment, unsure how to respond. The mention of monkeys was a topic he preferred to avoid, his cheeks still stinging from the memory. He could only muster a vague excuse to deflect. Lu Qingsong did not press further and, glancing at him, stated, I happen to need your assistance. Come with me. A sudden pang of apprehension gripped Zhou Zhongyi as he noticed the commander striding away. He quickly followed suit. At the dormitory, a group had encircled Lin Hui. What are you up to? He exclaimed, but before he could react, they hoisted him high into the air, tossing him joyfully. Oh, Chun Eru exclaimed. We owe you our gratitude. We one tea have to return to feed the pigs. Wang Yong chimed in with a grin. Huigu, you are truly my idol. You excelled in the new recruits battalion, dominated the production base. And now you've led the entire regiment to victory. Without hesitation, he declared, from now on, you are my brother, my dear brother by different mothers. Suda added with a smile, Lin Hui, thanks to you, our regiment has been saved. Henceforth, you shall be our hero. In that moment, Lin Hui soared through the air, feeling as though he were on a roller coaster, rising and falling as if suspended among the clouds. His heart swelled with immeasurable pride. This was the moment of utmost pride and accomplishment since he joined the military, for he had, through his own diligence, safeguarded the Tiger Regiment. Glancing at the weathered watch on his wrist, he mused, Old squad leader, the soldier you trained has made something of himself. I have not brought shame upon you. Recalling the words spoken by his father in the directorate, a smile involuntarily graced his lips. In a nearby corner stood a man and a woman. Wang Yishue observed from a distance, a smile also appearing on her face. It seems he is quite popular. The man beside her crossed his arms in annoyance, grumbling. Seeing this kid irritates me. Wang Yishue shot him a glance and chuckled. Then why are you here? The man, looking sheepish, replied. I thought if I watched him a bit longer, perhaps my irritation would dissipate. Wang Yishue laughed heartily and suggested. Let us wait until there are fewer people before we approach him. The man nodded, his eyes still filled with discontent. Were it not for that particular matter, he would have preferred not to be present. Chapter 115, The Commander's Tears, a truly rare gem of a soldier in the regiment's office. Zhou Zhongyi gazed at Lu Qingsong, his heart heavy with apprehension. Following their previous discussion, which hinted at the disbandment of the Tiger Regiment, he feared that the commander might be up to some mischief again. Could it be that, due to their missteps in the jungle, they would face disciplinary action for tarnishing the regiment's reputation? Just as Zhou Zhongyi was lost in worry, Lu Qingsong turned to him, momentarily taken aback. Why are you so anxious? Zhou Zhongyi offered an awkward smile. Not at all. I am quite at ease. Lu Qingsong laughed heartily, patting him on the shoulder. Rest assured. The order for disbandment has been temporarily revoked. You have preserved the regiment. There is no need for concern. Instantly, Zhou Zhongyi breathed a sigh of relief. As long as it wasn't a reprimand, he was content. However, Lu Qingsong's expression turned serious. Nevertheless, do not rejoice too soon. The streamlining of the military is an inevitable trend. No one can escape it. Although you have triumphed this time, further challenges lie ahead. Therefore, I expect you to remain vigilant at all times, with no room for complacency. Zhou Zhongyi nodded earnestly. Rest assured, Commander, our regiment can withstand any trial. Lin Hui, that rascal, possesses a wealth of cunning. As long as he is around, no difficulty seems insurmountable. If necessary, we shall forge paths through mountains and build bridges over rivers. Lu Qingsong smiled. For this exercise, I too have benefited from your achievements. The higher-ups have called to commend me, praising my leadership and extolling your Tiger Regiment for its illustrious history. Zhou Zhongyi stood tall, pride swelling in his chest. He turned to Lu Qingsong and said, Commander, our victory this time is largely due to Lin Hui. Without him, the Red Team could not have triumphed, and we would not have been able to preserve the Tiger Regiment. Lu Qingsong nodded appreciatively. Though I was not present at the scene, I have reviewed the exercise report. This lad is indeed a genius. His unconventional tactics are unlike anything I have encountered before. Though they may seem absurd, their effectiveness in practice was astonishing. I have come primarily to reward him. Please fetch him at once. Zhou Zhongyi promptly instructed his secretary to summon Lin Hui without delay. Lu Qingsong settled down, sipped his tea, and then turned to Zhou Zhongyi, inquiring, "How long has Lin Hui been with your regiment?" Zhou Zhongyi answered candidly, "Less than a year." Lu Qingsong nodded thoughtfully. "What is your opinion of this soldier?" Zhou Zhongyi chuckled, his face brimming with pride. "If we're speaking of opinions, I have plenty. From the very beginning in the recruit company, he stood out, quick-witted, intelligent, and full of clever ideas. Despite his remarkable performance and excellence in every aspect, he surprisingly chose to raise pigs. Indeed." Lu Qingsong laughed heartily. "I distinctly remember that. A soldier who actively volunteered to raise pigs was a first for me. And in the end, he truly went to raise pigs, almost making it into the military report. While there is no hierarchy in military positions, typically, only the soldiers with the poorest performance are assigned to the logistics of pig rearing. Truly commendable soldiers naturally belong in frontline combat units. Otherwise, how could one ensure the strength of the troops?" He said meaningfully, "Thus, gold will always shine. A good soldier like Lin Hui will thrive wherever he is assigned." Suddenly, Zhou Zhongyi's eyes widened in alarm, as if he had missed a step on the stairs. "What do you mean? Is there a hidden meaning in that?" Before he could voice his curiosity, a sudden knock at the door interrupted. "Come in." Lin Hui entered, saluting the two men. "Good day, Commander." "Good day, Colonel." Lu Qingsong stood, smiling as he scrutinized Lin Hui, as if he were examining a treasure chest filled with gold and silver. Lin Hui felt quite uneasy. "Commander, do you have any instructions?" "Lin Hui," Lu Qingsong called sternly, and Lin Hui immediately straightened his posture. "Yes." Lu Qingsong fixed his gaze upon him and said gravely, "Comrade Lin Hui, due to your valiant performance in the exercises, it has been decided after discussion by the higher authorities to award you a second-class merit medal and promote you to the rank of second lieutenant." Lin Hui saluted with a composed demeanor. "Thank you, Commander." Lu Qingsong noticed Lin Hui's reaction was not exuberant and assumed he might be displeased. Zhou Zhongyi beside him also appeared bewildered. Whether it be the second-class merit or promotion, these accolades were the dreams of countless ordinary soldiers. This was akin to transitioning from being an external member to being part of the official ranks. How could this fellow not show any excitement or joy? Was he perhaps dissatisfied with the second lieutenant rank? Zhou Zhongyi mused to himself. That must be it. This lad has previously received a first-class merit, and now with this, he has two second-class merits. He must feel that second lieutenant is beneath him. Sighing, Zhou Zhongyi thought, if it weren't for the military reforms, given Lin Hui's numerous accolades, he would certainly have started at the rank of lieutenant. But in the current circumstances, receiving a second lieutenant rank is already quite commendable. It is worth noting that there are those in the military who, despite having received first-class and second-class merits, cannot rise to officer status and must continue as non-commissioned officers. Zhou Zhongyi reassured him, "Lin Hui, do not harbor any discontent. Receiving a promotion to second lieutenant at this time is already quite impressive." Lin Hui chuckled, "No worries. No worries. I am very content to be a second lieutenant. My lack of education has cost me. Rest assured, Colonel. I will certainly strive to do my best in the future." Zhou Zhongyi nodded in satisfaction. "It is best that you think this way." Meanwhile, Lu Qingsong's lips twitched slightly. What was he trying to portray? "Although you have not attended a military academy, I recall that you have completed your undergraduate studies." He patted Lin Hui and said, "Your future path is still long. This is merely the beginning." Lin Hui smiled and replied, "Commander, I am already very happy. As long as our regiment is preserved and I can remain with my comrades, nothing else matters to me." Zhou Zhongyi secretly gave a thumbs up to this sentiment, thinking, "Well said." Lin Hui turned to Lu Qingsong and inquired, "Commander, everyone has been putting in tremendous effort during this exercise." Lu Qingsong chuckled, "Rest assured, there will be rewards. Your regiment will receive a collective second-class merit, and those who performed exceptionally will receive third-class merits. In a couple of days, your rewards will be distributed together." Lin Hui gratefully responded, "Thank you, Commander." Lu Qingsong gestured for Lin Hui to sit down and smiled, saying, "Lin Hui, have you ever considered going elsewhere to learn more?" Zhou Zhongyi's heart skipped a beat, his eyes widened. He had sensed the implication in the commander's words, and it was indeed confirmed. Lin Hui chuckled, "No need, Commander. I can learn here." Zhou Zhongyi quickly nodded, Yes, exactly. As long as you are here, I will impart all my knowledge to you." Lu Qingsong shot him a glare, then turned to Lin Hui with a smile. "Our regiment may not be as elite as some others, but you are a promising talent. I believe that by studying elsewhere, you could achieve even greater progress." Zhou Zhongyi felt a wave of panic. What was the commander trying to do? Was he trying to push Lin Hui away? Had he forgotten that Lin Hui was part of their regiment? Lin Hui waved his hand. No need, Commander. As long as I can stay with our regiment and my comrades, that is my greatest motivation. Besides, what does it matter if they are elite? We have bested them before, and as for what the regiment commander knows, I can learn from him. Zhou Zhongyi nodded vigorously. Yes. Lin Hui, I knew I had not misjudged you. You are so diligent, inquisitive, and striving for progress. If you stay, I will cultivate you well. Lin Hui nodded. Thank you for your cultivation, Commander. I will certainly work hard. Lu Qingsong twitched his lips, thinking, are you two putting on a show for me? He took a deep breath, forcing a smile. What I mean is, over there, they have all the equipment one could desire. Once you go there, you will surely unleash greater potential than if you remained with us. They have ample funding. Lin Hui chuckled. If our regiment trains harder and defeats them soundly, then won't that equipment belong to us? Zhou Zhongyi slapped the table. A fine soldier, truly a fine soldier. Well said. What nonsense. Lu Qingsong glared at Lin Hui. Stop playing the fool and pretending not to understand me. I am trying to send you to a better place for your development. Do not jest with me. Lin Hui replied earnestly. Commander, in my eyes, this is the best place. I only wish to be with my brothers and my esteemed regiment commander. Being able to stay in the Tiger Regiment is the best arrangement for me. No matter how good other places may be, I will not go. Zhou Zhongyi raised his head, his eyes brimming with tears of excitement. What a soldier. Truly an exceptional soldier. In all my years of service, I have never encountered one so devoted and loyal. Lu Qingsong felt a pang of anguish in his chest, his words bursting forth. You must go. There is no room for negotiation. Zhou Zhongyi, in a state of urgency, leaped up, his emotions running high. Commander, have you taken some dubious medication today? Lin Hui is undoubtedly our finest soldier. Why are you pushing him away? Lu Qingsong's eyes blazed with fury, wishing he could slap him. However, more pressing matters were at hand. He wasted no time and shouted directly at Lin Hui. Lin Hui, you must leave. That is an order. He then turned towards the entrance and commanded, come in, take him away. As the door swung open, Lin Hui, astonished, exclaimed, what brings you here? Chapter 116. He is my beloved brother. I demand more money. What are you doing here? Lin Hui stared incredulously at Wang Yixue, completely oblivious to the man behind her. Wang Yixue saluted the commander and then smiled warmly at Lin Hui. I'm here to congratulate you, comrade second lieutenant. Lin Hui, suspicious, replied, have you taken the wrong medicine? Wang Yixue rolled her eyes. You are the one who is mistaken. I came here with good intentions to congratulate you. Is this how you respond? Nonetheless, it is quite remarkable that you have risen from a soldier to an officer. What is this? Lin Hui scoffed. Are you here to apologize for your previous remarks? Wang Yixue smiled gently. If you perceive it that way, then so be it. Lin Hui gazed at her in astonishment. Throughout their lives, Wang Yixue had always been a fierce figure, regardless of whether she was at fault. She would never back down or apologize to anyone. Yet here she was, seemingly willing to concede. Has this woman really changed? Lin Hui smirked and replied nonchalantly. That seems rather dismissive. Is a simple acknowledgement sufficient? Wang Yixue huffed. What do you expect then? Lin Hui grinned mischievously. Do you remember our last agreement? Wang Yixue's face flushed, her anger igniting. How dare he bring this up in front of so many people? Such audacity. Ahem. A middle-aged man beside them cleared his throat, nodded at Lu Qingsong, and approached Lin Hui with a smile. Do you recognize me? Lin Hui turned to scrutinize him. The man was a slim colonel with triangular eyes, his gaze chilling. He shook his head. No, I don't. The man, somewhat embarrassed, replied. We are old rivals, having clashed in the training grounds twice. Although we haven't met, my subordinates have been bullied by you. Lin Hui quickly caught on. Oh, you're one of the troops under the Blue Army commander, right? The man, looking exasperated, introduced himself. I'm Lei Ming, from the Southwest Theater's Black Tiger Special Forces. You had a monkey beat up my man, and they were ridiculed mercilessly. Have you forgotten all of that? Lin Hui feigned ignorance, responding, I've heard much about you, so it's an honor to finally meet you. What brings you here? Lei Ming exchanged a glance with Lu Qingsong, who instantly understood. You all continue your discussion. We wish to take our leave. He waved to Zhou Zhongyi, inviting him to leave the office together. Zhou Zhongyi scrutinized Lei Ming with a hostile gaze, fully aware that the Special Forces' arrival was likely to recruit personnel. Nevertheless, he had unwavering confidence in Lin Hui, believing that this young man, who valued loyalty and righteousness, would never abandon them. Approaching Lin Hui, Zhou Zhongyi patted his chest and declared, Good brother, for a lifetime. Lin Hui, bewildered, wondered about the meaning behind this gesture. As soon as they stepped outside, Zhou Zhongyi hurried to catch up with LV Qingsong. Commander, what is the situation? How could you allow others to come here to recruit our people? Lin Hui has not only helped us retain our regiment, but has also contributed to our brigade. Before he could finish, LV Qingsong's icy glare silenced him. With a cold snort, LV Chingsong replied, "Do you think I wish to let such an excellent soldier go?" Zhou Zhongyi rolled his eyes, retorting, "Aren't you trying to get rid of Lin Hui right now?" LV Chingsong glanced around and lowered his voice. "There are conditions involved." Zhou Zhongyi, taken aback, asked, "What conditions?" LV Chingsong led him to the stairwell and whispered, "Do you know why our unit is being disbanded?" After pondering, Zhou Zhongyi replied, "Because we lack strength?" "Precisely. We lack strength. But fundamentally, we are lagging behind," LV Chingsong said with a smile. "While other units have undergone comprehensive upgrades, our brigade has only your regiment mechanized, while the others remain motorized. This time, they are willing to exchange 60 T-85 tanks and 40 infantry fighting vehicles for him." Zhou Zhongyi gasped, utterly astonished. Is this kid truly so valuable? Such heavy firepower could elevate the entire 602's capabilities significantly. LV Chingsong continued, "Moreover, if we agree, the number of personnel slated for disbandment can be reduced, allowing many veterans to remain." He looked at Zhou Zhongyi and asked, "Tell me, with Lin Hui alone, in exchange for all these resources, what should I do?" Zhou Zhongyi, surprised, exclaimed, "Why didn't you mention such a good opportunity earlier? This news just came to light." LV Chingsong chuckled. "Lin Hui is indeed commendable. He has contributed to our brigade, and I am reluctant to let him go. However, a soldier, no matter how valuable, remains just a soldier. In the future, our unit will face battle, defending our homeland and protecting our people. If we can utilize him to enhance the entire brigade's combat effectiveness, what would you do?" Zhou Zhongyi thumped his thigh, excitedly declaring, "I would agree, without a doubt." Suddenly, he fixed a serious gaze on LV Chingsong and added, "However, Commander, I have one request." "Speak." Zhou Zhongyi took a deep breath, his eyes burning with intensity. "Lin Hui is the most outstanding soldier I have ever seen and the spiritual pillar of our regiment. He has led us to victory and helped us preserve the Tiger Regiment." LV Chingsong patted him on the back, sighing, "Zhongyi, you remain as loyal as ever. Yet, the development of the entire brigade is at stake. Even I must reluctantly make sacrifices. Furthermore, if Lin Hui moves to a new place, he will have a better future. If he stays with the 602, he will achieve little and be stifled in his growth. This is truly stifling a good soldier." Zhou Zhongyi's face was full of grievance. "Everyone is reluctant to see him go, and so am I. He is my dear brother. Therefore, Commander, you must allocate more resources to our regiment, otherwise my heart will be in turmoil." Lu Chingsong nearly spewed blood in frustration. He clutched his heart, feeling utterly unwell. "You've been performing this charade just to say that?" Zhou Zhongyi quickly retorted, "If you don't agree, I want to let him leave." Lu Chingsong seethed with anger. Fine, I'll give you a bit more. Is that satisfactory?" Zhou Zhongyi instantly brightened like a child. "Then that is settled. As long as the resources are adequate, I'll personally help him pack and send him off." Seeing Zhou's smug demeanor, Lu Chingsong felt an overwhelming urge to kick him. How did 602 come to have such a character? In the commander's office, Lei Ming sat on the sofa and gestured to the side. "All right, sit down and let us talk." Lin Hui shook his head. "You're the leader. I'll stand and listen." Lei Ming sighed with a wry smile, fully aware of Lin Hui's palpable resistance. With a half-smile, he said, "Lin Hui, I am not here to reprimand you. Although you've embarrassed us twice during the exercises, I can see that you have potential. Our Black Tiger Special Forces desperately need talent right now. With veteran soldiers about to retire, I sincerely hope you will join us." Lin Hui clapped his hands. "Well, isn't that unfortunate? Our Tiger Regiment also needs personnel. Why don't you all join us collectively? I could mentor you and share some valuable experience." Lei Ming's lips twitched in frustration, and beside him, Wang Yixue was equally stunned. What nonsense was this fellow spouting? Lei Ming stood up abruptly, his voice cold. "We are a direct combat unit, with a rank higher than your regiment. What makes you think I would let my men join you?" Lin Hui shrugged. "Then it seems fate has not favored us. I'm not going anywhere. I'm quite fond of this place." Wang Yixue grew anxious. "Lin Hui, stop being stubborn. Don't you realize what an incredible opportunity this is? Being a Special Forces soldier is the ultimate dream for every infantryman. Many spend their entire lives trying to get in. The commander himself is inviting you. You should cherish this chance. Don't you want to develop in a better environment?" Lin Hui glanced at her and replied nonchalantly, "Others may aspire to that, but I have no interest. A bunch of defeated foes. What would I do? Teach them a lesson? If they wish to come to our side, I'd have to think twice about that. If they can't even handle monkeys, what use are they?" Lei Ming felt as though he had received several stinging slaps to the face, the pain sharp and real. This young man spoke without an ounce of courtesy, exposing wounds and rubbing salt in them. Yet, he could not refute him, for what he said was indeed the truth. Wang Yixue, seeing Lei Ming's displeasure, was both anxious and furious. "Lin Hui, I thought the present you would be different from the past, striving for progress, but it appears you remain unchanged." Lei Ming waved his hand dismissively. looking at Lin Hui. This is merely an invitation. If you do not wish to go, we will not force you. After all, a forced fruit is not sweet. However, if you truly understand the capabilities of special forces, you would realize that their prowess far surpasses your expectations. Lin Hui nodded, acknowledging the point. It's getting late. You all should head back, as we have no extra provisions here. Lei Ming, feeling a pang of irritation, retorted. Am I saying that I'm leaving? I was merely being polite, and yet you insist on sending me away? The commander of the illustrious Black Tiger Special Operations is personally involved. Would it not be a disgrace if I failed to bring someone back? He inhaled deeply, fixing his gaze on Lin Hui. The military is evolving. Some matters are not yours to decide. Even if you are reluctant, when orders are issued, you must comply. Lin Hui glared at him. Isn't this akin to forcing a square peg into a round hole? Lei Ming smirked with satisfaction. A square peg may not be sweet, but it quenches thirst. Those we value in the special forces cannot simply escape. Prepare yourself. In a couple of days, someone will come to fetch you. With that, he turned to leave. Just as he reached the door, he abruptly halted, glancing back to say, refusal is futile, for I can secure the orders. Unless you choose to retire. Wang Yishue observed Lin Hui's frustrated expression and smiled. Do not overthink it. Once you join the Black Tigers, you will realize it is the wisest choice of your life, and you will become an even better version of yourself. The two exchanged smiles before stepping out. Lin Hui, with a fierce glare, felt anger boiling within him. If soft persuasion fails, must they resort to coercion? Should orders come down, he would have no choice but to leave. A soldier must obey commands. It is a discipline ingrained in their very being. Clenching his fists, he sneered. But the orders have yet to be issued, have they? Do you truly believe you can procure them, while I cannot? You underestimate me. Chapter 117. It is not that we do not wish to keep you. It is simply that they offer too much. As Wang Yishue and Lei Ming exited the office, they were quickly surrounded by two individuals in the corridor. Lu Qingsong eagerly inquired, so what is the verdict? What did Lin Hui say? Zhou Zhongyi, thinking of the equipment, was filled with joy. What could he possibly say? Surely he agreed. When do we depart? Is it now? I'll hasten to help him pack and personally see him off. Lei Ming shook his head with a wry smile, reluctant to elaborate. Commander Zhou, it would be best if you refrain from getting too involved. We have other matters to attend to. As the two prepared to leave, Zhou Zhongyi hurriedly blocked their path. Don't rush off. What does it all mean? With a sigh, Lei Ming explained. Lin Hui is unwilling to accompany us. He insists that he will go nowhere else. Did you not attempt to persuade him? Zhou Zhongyi grew anxious. Persuasion requires strategy. It must be gradual. You must articulate the benefits of being a special forces soldier, appealing to both emotion and reason. Beside them, Wang Yishue scoffed. Wei tried both soft and hard approaches, yet he remains impervious. He claims that no matter what, he will not leave. This place is his home. I've never encountered such a stubborn mule. Upon hearing this, Lu Qingsong and Zhou Zhongyi's expressions soured, their faces reflecting utter dismay. It was not that they were insistent on Lin Hui's departure, but rather that the weaponry and equipment were crucial for the future development of Unit 602. Lu Qingsong anxiously asked, have you not explored any alternative methods? Lei Ming shook his head helplessly. We've said all that needs to be said. If he is unwilling, we cannot force him at gunpoint, can we? Perhaps you should give it a try, otherwise those weapons and equipment will end up in someone else's hands. We have matters to attend to, so we shall take our leave. Wang Yishue nodded in agreement and followed him as they made their way out. As they reached the staircase, they exchanged glances, revealing sly smiles reminiscent of foxes. Lei Ming chuckled, since we cannot persuade Lin Hui, let us have his commander and the regimental leader speak with him directly. I refuse to believe that this lad will remain obstinate. Wang Yishue nodded, recognizing the truth in his words. Having grown up together, she understood Lin Hui's character well. Once he had made up his mind, no amount of persuasion would sway him. She turned to Lei Ming and asked, Captain Lei, what if even they cannot convince Lin Hui? Lei Ming narrowed his eyes and replied coldly, that is why we must prepare for all contingencies. I shall return and request orders. Once military commands are issued, he will find it impossible to resist. Wang Yishue nodded, secretly hoping for Lin Hui's better development. His remarkable performance during the exercises, where he had twice inflicted heavy losses on the Blue Army Special Forces, demonstrated that his tactical acumen and strength far surpassed that of ordinary soldiers. Keeping him in a regular unit would be a gross misallocation of talent. In the corridor, the commander and regimental leader were in a state of agitation. Zhou Zhongyi was bouncing about anxiously. Commander, what do you think Lin Hui is thinking? How can he be so ungrateful? This is a golden opportunity. If I were in his position, I would jump at it. Lu Qingsong rolled his eyes. Well, he has to want it first, doesn't he? We must devise a plan to send him away. Zhou Zhongyi nodded fervently. Absolutely. He must leave. Just then, Lin Hui approached from behind, reporting. The two men were startled, akin to thieves caught in the act, their faces betraying their panic. Zhou Zhongyi glared. Why do you walk so quietly? You nearly gave me a heart attack. Lu Qingsong quickly inquired. What did they discuss with you in the office? Lin Hui replied with a grin. They want to recruit me into the Black Tiger Special Forces. Both men stared at him, their anxiety palpable. And what did you say? Lin Hui declared firmly. Of course, I declined. Lu Qingsong's face turned pale. You truly refused? Lin Hui chuckled. Indeed. Here are my comrades and my esteemed commander. How could I bear to leave? Lu Qingsong trembled with rage. You. Lin Hui interrupted. Commander, I know what you wish to say. I am someone who never forgets my roots. How could I betray your nurturing and the regimental leader's support by engaging in such treachery? Zhou Zhongyi fumed. No? Lin Hui, listen to me. Lin Hui seized his hand, cutting him off. Commander, I know you want to praise me, to say that I am indeed a fine soldier. From this day forth, I shall remain here, regardless of who calls. I will not leave. This is my home. The two men trembled with fury, their faces flushed. Lu Qingsong could no longer contain his frustration and exclaimed furiously, Who gave you the right to refuse? Did I ask you to stay? Lin Hui, caught off guard by the sudden outburst, was momentarily at a loss for words. Wait a minute. If I don't leave, shouldn't you all be pleased? Pleasant? Nonsense. Lu Qingsong's face flushed with anger. I would rather you leave as soon as possible. Zhou Zhongyi chimed in urgently. Lin Hui, the special forces are a dream for countless individuals. How could you turn them down? Do you have any idea how many in our division aspire to join yet cannot? Your squad leader Su De and your company commander Zhang Jiantao. Who among them wouldn't wish to go? Lin Hui, still bewildered, replied. But I don't want to leave this behind. Zhou Zhongyi, exasperated, retorted. What is it that you're so reluctant to part with? Are we being buried? Or are we heading to the battlefield? Being sent to the special forces is for your own good. Tell me, is there anyone in the entire brigade who can rival you? Without a worthy opponent, how will you progress and grow? Therefore, my advice is to leave promptly. The sooner, the better. Once you arrive there, learn diligently, and come back to visit us when you have the time. Lin Hui, with a slight grimace, felt utterly speechless. Just moments ago, they spoke of brotherhood for life, yet now they were urging him to depart, their loyalty seemingly as fleeting as the turning of a page. Lu Qingsong turned to him, earnestly pleading, Lin Hui, we only have your best interests at heart. Our unit is still lacking even in semi-mechanization. What achievements can you hope to accomplish here? The special forces are where you can truly soar. I believe that with your intelligence and talent, you will achieve great things there. Zhou Zhongyi nodded vigorously in agreement. Indeed, our humble abode cannot accommodate a talent as great as yours. We lack resources, and even I, your commander, feel embarrassed. Why not reconsider? They haven't departed yet. Lin Hui stubbornly shook his head. No need for reconsideration. I will not leave. A son does not disdain his mother for her appearance, nor do I disdain my humble home. I simply wish to remain with you, even if it means achieving little in the grand scheme. The two men felt tears welling up. But we do not wish to remain with you. Lu Qingsong's eyebrows were nearly ablaze with frustration. Fine, if you refuse to heed my advice, I shall forcefully send you there. Lin Hui chuckled, unfazed. I'll just stay put. If you have the ability, go ahead and tie me up. But even if you do, my legs are my own. And I will still find a way to return. The two, exasperated, clutched the railing, nearly toppling over. This fellow was truly impervious to reason. Although they were reluctant to see Lin Hui leave, they found solace in the thought of his better prospects under the guidance of higher authorities. Yet, the thought of 60 tanks and 40 infantry fighting vehicles going to waste would surely cause them daily anguish. You rascal. Very well, you've got some nerve. Lu Qingsong, overwhelmed, feared he might soon require medical assistance due to frustration. Zhou Zhongyi shot him a stern glare and hurriedly followed. You, think carefully about this, at your age. You should be more considerate of your own future. Observing their frantic demeanor, Lin Hui pondered. Something felt amiss, very amiss. They were undoubtedly concealing something from him. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so eager to send him away. Lin Hui rubbed his hands together, a triumphant expression adorning his face. No matter how you persuade me, I refuse to leave. Let us see what you can do about it. Nonetheless, just to be safe, I ought to take swift action. Chapter 118. Challenging Limits. Elevating grassroots forces to the level of special forces. In the office of the division commander, Lu Qingsong massaged his temples, a frown creasing his brow. What on earth is Lin Hui thinking? He refuses to join the special forces? Zhou Zhongyi paced anxiously. I never expected this young man to be so stubborn. Shouldn't we devise a strategy? Not so fast. Lu Qingsong waved his hand dismissively. I can assure you, once Lei Ming returns, he will undoubtedly submit an application to the higher-ups. They are determined to recruit Lin Hui. Just think, this young man performed so outstandingly in the exercises, from camouflage and infiltration to tactical arrangements. He epitomizes the essence of special operations. He has yet to undergo formal training. Yet he has outperformed seasoned soldiers. How could the Black Tigers not want him? If I were Lei Ming and encountered such an exceptional soldier, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. Zhou Zhongyi nodded in agreement. Indeed, had it not been for this, they would not have supplied us with such an abundance of equipment, which only underscores their unwavering intent to secure him. Lu Qingsong rose, visibly excited. 60 Type 85 tanks and 40 infantry fighting vehicles. With these, our division would truly stand tall. We could dominate the entire theater. Zhou Zhongyi was so ecstatic he nearly shed tears. If that were the case, his old comrades would surely envy him. Perhaps the entire Tiger Regiment would rise to greatness. Suddenly, Zhou Zhongyi queried, "Commander, doesn't this seem a bit coercive? Are we not essentially peddling him?" Lu Qingsong slammed the table. "Nonsense. What kind of talk is that?" Zhou Zhongyi awkwardly replied. "I just feel that our actions might be somewhat unscrupulous. After all, Lin Hui has contributed significantly to our regiment. Is it really appropriate to exchange him for equipment? Do not implicate me." Lu Qingsong quickly distanced himself. "You alone are lacking in virtue." Zhou Zhongyi, exasperated, retorted, "Commander, wasn't this your idea?" Lu Qingsong smiled slyly. "True, the idea originated with me, but you are his direct superior, having just called him brother, only to turn around and sell him out. You are the most culpable." Zhou Zhongyi nearly spat blood in frustration. "So I alone bear the blame, do I?" He grumbled. Fine, I'll concede. At worst, I'll apologize later. After all, this is his home. If he can help his family acquire such valuable assets, he certainly wouldn't hold it against us." Lu Qingsong chuckled. "That's the spirit. We are acting in his best interest. By joining the special forces, he will have greater opportunities, and our division will enhance its strength. It's a win-win." Zhou Zhongyi, observing Lu Qingsong's sly grin, cautiously inquired, "Commander, you won't trade me for equipment in the future, will you?" "Bah." Lu Qingsong rolled his eyes. "As if you could ever compare. They wouldn't even want you in exchange." Zhou Zhongyi forced a smile. "I was merely jesting. Don't take it to heart." After leaving the regiment headquarters, Lin Hui did not return directly to his quarters. Instead, he approached a public telephone. He gazed at the telephone before him, hesitating for quite some time. Should he call or not? He could discern that his father wished him well. If he were to ask, it was likely that he would acquiesce. Lin Hui lifted the receiver, hesitating for an extended period, yet he could not bring himself to dial the number. The years of conflict weighed heavily upon him, as imposing as a mountain. The thought of asking for help rendered him speechless. After much contemplation, he finally dialed a number, and a deep voice soon echoed from the other end. "Who is this?" Lin Hui smiled and replied, "Hello, Uncle Zhao. It's me, Lin Hui." Zhao Yuanming paused for a moment, then laughed heartily. "Little Hui, what a surprise to hear from you. I heard about the recent drill. Despite the dire circumstances for the Red Team, you managed to lead them to victory. To orchestrate a covert operation with an entire regiment, I was utterly astonished. You're becoming quite impressive, more and more like a true member of the Lin family." Lin Hui humbly responded, "Uncle Zhao, if it weren't for your insistence on my joining the army, I wouldn't have achieved this much. I owe it all to you." Zhao Yuanming waved his hand with a smile. "A gem will shine no matter where it is. You were destined to be a soldier, and your prowess is only to be expected, given your family's admirable lineage." With a smile, Lin Hui nodded and exchanged a few pleasantries before finally broaching the subject. "Uncle Zhao, there is a matter on which I seek your assistance." Zhao Yuanming grinned slightly. "I knew you wouldn't call me without a reason. Go ahead. What is it?" Lin Hui succinctly recounted the situation, leaving Zhao Yuanming astonished and speechless. "Wait a minute. Have you lost your mind? Or is something wrong? Refusing an invitation to the special forces? If others heard this, they would be envious beyond measure. Take a stroll around your barracks and ask, who wouldn't want to join the special forces? Higher rank, greater authority, faster promotions, and more opportunities to distinguish oneself. Surely it's a far better situation than being in your current unit." Lin Hui nodded. "I understand all of that." Zhao Yuanming, at a loss for words, replied, "If you know this, why do you refuse?" Lin Hui asserted solemnly, "During my time in the army, I have been transformed by the warmth of this place, which feels like home. I have landed in the Tiger Regiment and consider it my family. I have sweated here, and I have comrades and brothers by my side, which is why I wish to remain. The essence of serving in the military is to protect one's homeland alongside one's comrades, is it not?" Frustrated, Zhao Yuanming retorted, "Wouldn't joining the special forces allow you to protect your homeland even better? The tasks are demanding, but with your abilities, you would surely thrive there. Do not dwell on this matter. I will not assist you." Lin Hui took a deep breath. "I recognize that you speak from a place of concern for my future and the welfare of the army. However, I assure you, regardless of where I am, I will not cease to advance. The special forces are indeed formidable, yet my presence here can also cultivate an equally strong unit. One that could rival the special forces. Zhao Yuanming was directly amused to the point of laughter. The special forces receive abundant funding and attention. Any member placed in an ordinary unit would be a soldier of exceptional caliber. No matter how extraordinary your abilities may be, it is impossible to elevate an ordinary unit to their level or even to a standard of competence. Do not indulge in daydreams. Lin Hui smiled faintly and suggested, Uncle Zhao, how about we make a bet? Zhao Yuanming was taken aback. What do you mean? Last time you gave me a chance, I managed to preserve our regiment. This time, if you grant me another opportunity and allow me to stay, I assure you that I will elevate the Tiger Regiment to rival the Special Forces, or even surpass them. Lin Hui stated earnestly, Uncle Zhao, I genuinely wish to be a good soldier and to remain here. Did you not hope that I would stay true to my original intentions and lead a righteous life? Now that I have chosen this path, I implore you to grant me another chance. There was a long silence on the other end of the phone, until Zhao Yuanming finally spoke impatiently. You really know how to create trouble for me. You're driving me insane. Lin Hui chuckled. Thank you, Uncle Zhao. Zhao Yuanming replied grumpily. I can only say I will do my utmost. I cannot guarantee anything. Just wait and see. All right then, I look forward to your good news. After hanging up, Lin Hui let out a sigh of relief. He was aware that Uncle Zhao had extensive connections and would undoubtedly find a way. His promise to assist was essentially a guarantee. Later that evening, in the military compound, Lin Guangyao was reading a newspaper in the living room when suddenly there was a knock at the door. As the secretary opened it, Zhao Yuanming rushed in anxiously. Lin Guangyao asked in surprise, At this hour, what brings you here? Looking for a meal? Zhao Yuanming grimaced. Who comes over for dinner at 8? It's all about Lin Hui. What has happened to him now? Lin Guangyao questioned, puzzled. Didn't he just earn a commendation and a promotion? Zhao Yuanming waved his hand dismissively. He hasn't caused any trouble. I'll explain. He quickly recounted the situation, infuriating Lin Guangyao, who slammed his hand on the coffee table. That brat, with such a good opportunity available, is he trying to reach for the heavens? Who can just waltz into the special forces? The captain himself came to recruit him, and he is acting nonchalant? Zhao Yuanming awkwardly laughed. Old chief. I've explained everything to him, but he refuses to listen. He even claimed that if you let him stay, he would ensure the Tiger Regiment surpasses the special forces. Arrogance. Utterly outrageous. Lin Guangyao exclaimed, standing abruptly. Has he forgotten his own identity after achieving a few victories and taking down some special forces soldiers? He is getting too full of himself. Zhao Yuanming shook his head. Chief, I do not share that sentiment. What? Lin Guangyao looked at him in confusion. Zhao Yuanming smiled and said, Lin Hui is your son, and you have witnessed his growth since joining the military. His relentless efforts in the recent exercises were aimed at preserving the Tiger Regiment. That is his motivation. For others, joining the special forces might be tempting, but it holds no allure for Lin Hui. His heart and roots are firmly planted in the Tiger Regiment. His comrades and brothers are his pillars of strength. Lin Guangyao fell silent, pacing back and forth in the living room, deep in thought. Zhao Yuanming felt a bit dizzy from the conversation. Chief, I believe Lin Hui's intentions are genuine. He truly wishes to stay. Since he is eager to give it a try, should we not grant him the opportunity? He added. Moreover, he has already demonstrated a miracle once. At that moment, Lin Guangyao suddenly paused, a silent smile emerging on his face, growing ever more joyful. His countenance blooming like a flower. He took a deep breath and chuckled. This rascal is just like I was in my youth. Always eager to challenge limits and defy conventions. Chief, should we all right? Enough. Lin Guangyao waved his hand. You may leave. I will handle this matter. He was curious to see how Lin Hui would manage to achieve it. Yes, I shall take my leave. Zhao Yuanming smiled as he departed. Feeling that this matter had finally found resolution, Lin Guangyao, holding his teacup, was just about to take a sip when he suddenly burst into hearty laughter. This little rascal is increasingly resembling you, bold and daring just like his father. Chapter 119. Why are you so eager for me to leave? At the command post of the war zone, Lei Ming adjusted his attire and knocked on the office door. Come in, came the response. He entered, saluting with a semblance of formality. Good day, Chief. Commander Su Qianshan looked up, his expression one of annoyance. What brings you here again? With a cheerful grin, Lei Ming replied, Yes, it's me again. What do you need? Oh, nothing much. I just thought I should occasionally show my face before you, lest you forget me. Su Qianshan rolled his eyes. With that face of yours, how could I possibly forget? Meeting you is like enduring 3 days of nightmares. To leave an impression in the leader's mind, even if it's through nightmares, is an honor, Lei Ming retorted with a chuckle. Su Qianshan scoffed, Spare me your flattery. If you have something to say, spit it out quickly. I have important matters at hand. Rubbing his hands together, Lei Ming said, Chief, it's about that previous request. I hope you can approve the transfer of that individual. He is truly a talent, and whether our Black Tiger unit can strengthen depends entirely on you. Su Qianshan shook his head with a smile. He opened a drawer and tossed a document at him. Take this. I knew you were here for this. Receiving the document, Lei Ming was overjoyed. Your understanding of me is unparalleled, Chief. Thank you, thank you. However, upon opening it, his expression turned blank. This isn't right, is it? Su Qianshan inquired calmly. What seems to be the issue? Growing anxious, Lei Ming exclaimed, this is not what I expected. Why has it changed? Su Qianshan replied coldly. What has changed? Isn't this what you requested? But this is not what I wanted. Lei Ming protested. Having an order is one thing, but this is just rambling. Do you think I'm shopping for groceries? Su Qianshan glared at him. If you had the capability, you would have kept him. If not, stop wasting my time. You Special Forces team are the top talents. Surely you possess more ability than this? With a look of helplessness, Lei Ming thought he could simply transfer the individual once the order was issued. How had it turned into this? This was truly frustrating. Yes, Chief, he saluted, leaving the office with a forlorn expression. He glanced at the order in his hands and sighed resignedly. It seems that bringing this lad over is not as simple as I had hoped. As soon as Lei Ming departed, Su Qianshan picked up the telephone on the table. Connect me to the Southeast Command. The call was swiftly transferred. Hello, this is Lin Guangyao. Su Qianshan chuckled. Old Lin, I've taken care of everything for you. After such a significant favor, you must treat me to a nice meal and send me a few pounds of fine tea. Lin Guangyao laughed heartily. No problem, no problem. Just a trivial matter. Su Qianshan continued. But really, your son rarely asks you for anything, so why complicate matters? I've never seen a father like you. I should invite that lad for a drink sometime to console him. You're just making things difficult for him. No. Lin Guangyao quickly interrupted. After so many years, you know my character. There's a reason for everything I do. Besides, he is my son. How could I possibly harm him? What father doesn't wish for his son to have a better future? Su Qianshan shook his head helplessly. I see. You're just worried that your son will surpass you one day. Lin Guangyao raised his voice. Nonsense. That brat has merely achieved a little success. He dreams of surpassing me. One can never be certain. Su Qianshan chuckled. All right, I won't keep you any longer. I have some matters to attend to. I'll hang up now. After ending the call, Lin Guangyao stood and walked to the window, clasping his hands behind his back. Xiao Hui, the opportunity is yours. It's up to you to seize it. In the 602nd Division office, Lin Hui arrived upon receiving orders. As he pushed open the door, he was momentarily taken aback. Inside, both the division commander and the regimental commander were present, with Lei Ming seated on the sofa, smiling and holding a cup of tea. Greeting him, Lin Hui. We meet again. Lin Hui first walked over to salute the division commander and regimental commander, then furrowed his brow slightly. Why is this fellow here again? Did Uncle Zhao's task not succeed? That shouldn't be the case. His connections are so extensive. At that moment, Lei Ming stood up and produced an order. Comrade Lin Hui, the higher-ups require you to be transferred to the Black Tiger Special Forces effective immediately. Upon hearing this, LV Qingsong and Zhou Zhongyi immediately perked up with excitement. Special Forces are indeed reliable. At last, the tanks and infantry fighting vehicles have a chance. LV Qingsong was overjoyed but feigned reluctance. Shaolin, we'll miss you dearly, but orders are orders. No one can keep you here. Obeying orders is a soldier's duty. Zhou Zhongyi nodded vigorously. Yes, once you're there, don't forget us. We'll miss you. Lei, are you leaving now? I'll help you pack. The car is downstairs, right? Lin Hui shot them a fierce glare. These two ungrateful wretches, their smiles almost spilling over. How many benefits did they receive to concoct such schemes to get rid of him? Lei Ming looked at Lin Hui with a smile. Lin Hui, the orders have been issued. You have no reason to refuse, do you? Lin Hui replied. I'd like to wait a bit longer. There might be other orders. Lei Ming felt a jolt in his heart, but maintained a cold smile. I advise you to abandon that notion. So many people yearn to enter the Special Forces but cannot, yet you have so much to say. The command of the commander is singular. There can be no alternatives. Even if you were to find the headquarters, the outcome would remain unchanged. Lu Qingsong hastened to console. Xiaolin, do not despair. The Special Forces are an excellent place. Once you arrive, you shall understand. Zhou Zhongyi added. Lin Hui, I know you are feeling discontented, but do not blame us. We are all acting in your best interest. There, you will have the opportunity to excel and be promoted, far surpassing our current circumstances. I would seize such an opportunity myself if it were available. Lin Hui clenched his fists, filled with frustration. It was not that he did not wish to venture to a better place. Rather, he was reluctant to abandon the home he had fought so hard to protect. Unit 602 was the birthplace of his dreams, a vessel for his sweat, sacrifices, hardships, and countless cherished comrades. To join the Special Forces would mean forsaking all of this, a sacrifice Lin Hui could not bear. Just this alone made it impossible for him. He fixed his gaze on Lei Ming and took a deep breath. May I have just a little more time? Lei Ming, puzzled, inquired, what do you intend to do? Lin Hui replied, I wish to make a phone call. Once that is done, I will accompany you. Lei Ming stated firmly, I can assure you, no matter whom you call, It will be futile. The military order has already been issued. Lin Hui rolled his eyes. Then what are you afraid of? Lei Ming was momentarily speechless, only able to wave his hand in resignation. Go ahead, go. Lin Hui turned and stormed out of the office, angrily making his way to the phone booth. Chapter 120. Orders issued. Lin Hui transferred. Lin Hui picked up the phone and dialed the number. It was quickly answered. Who is this? Lin Hui eagerly responded. Uncle Zhao. It's me, Lin Hui. Zhao Yuanming chuckled. What brings you to call? Are you hoping to treat me to drinks during the holiday? Lin Hui, anxious, interjected. Let us put the drinks on hold for now. I wanted to inquire about that matter we discussed last time. Has there been any progress? Zhao Yuanming paused, furrowing his brow. Was it not resolved already? Resolved? Lin Hui echoed, bewildered. Indeed. I personally approached your father, and he agreed at that time. Lin Hui felt a wave of embarrassment wash over him. Uncle Zhao? I initially sought your assistance precisely to avoid going through him. Had I known, I would have asked him directly, sparing you the trouble. Zhao Yuanming sighed with a rueful smile. Xiao Hui, you overestimate my influence. I lack such power. Furthermore, this army is not mine to command, and a multitude of issues are involved. It's not something a mere colonel can dictate. Lin Hui suddenly found himself at a loss for words. Reflecting on it, he realized Zhao was indeed correct. If he were being transferred to a conventional unit, Uncle Zhao could likely assist. However, when it came to the special forces, complications arose. Zhao Yuanming, intrigued, asked, what seems to be the trouble? Lin Hui hastily recounted the situation. They have already issued the transfer orders. I cannot refuse them. That is why I rushed to call you for assistance. Zhao Yuanming burst into laughter. You, my boy, have been outmaneuvered. What? Lin Hui replied, utterly confused. Zhao Yuanming continued to chuckle. The commander and your father are old comrades. Once he interceded, how could they possibly decline? Moreover, as far as I am aware, there are two commands. One is to summon you, and the other is to let them prove their capability to retain you. If they lack such capability, they will simply let you go. Lin Hui was instantly filled with indignation. That rascal Lei Ming is truly insidious. He is clearly reluctant to disclose the second command to me. Fortunately, I made a timely call for verification. Otherwise, I would have fallen into your trap. However, what surprised Lin Hui the most was the maneuver executed by his father. Although it was a form of assistance, it was not complete. Ultimately, one must rely on their own strength. Without that strength, one must obediently obey the orders and remain in the special forces. Yet, if one possesses that strength, Lin Hui smiled faintly, brimming with confidence. I understand now. Thank you, Uncle Zhao. Just as he was about to hang up, Zhao Yuanming suddenly reminded him. Lin Hui, you must perform well. You need to make a significant impression on your father. Rest assured I will. Lin Hui nodded with a smile. After the call ended, he clenched his fist. If they wish to see my strength, then I shall provide ample proof. Let them not be caught off guard. Meanwhile, in the office of the commander, Zhou Zhongyi was anxiously glancing at the clock, fretting. Commander, do you think Lin Hui might have run away and is refusing to carry out the orders? He wouldn't dare. Lu Qingsong's eyes widened like saucers. If he defies orders, I shall break his legs. He would be asking for trouble. Zhou Zhongyi expressed his concerns. If it comes to that, I will personally escort him to ensure that this rascal doesn't abscond midway. Lei Ming, seated nearby sipping tea, was utterly unconcerned. The order had already been issued. No matter how Lin Hui resisted, it would be futile. Those selected by the special forces have never been unable to be taken away. Furthermore, they had invested significantly this time. With so much equipment, even he felt the pinch. However, as long as they could bring Lin Hui to the Black Tiger unit and nurture him well, the future returns would undoubtedly be substantial. At that moment, Lin Hui suddenly pushed the door open. You finally returned. Zhou Zhongyi hurried over. We thought you had vanished. Lin Hui smiled slightly. Commander, a living person like me is not so easily lost. Lei Ming stood up, looking at him with a cheerful expression. So, Lin Hui, have you finished your call? Are you ready to come with me? Lin Hui turned around and saluted him, reporting in. I, Lin Hui of the 6th Company of the Tiger Brigade, am willing to obey the orders. Lu Qingsong and Zhou Zhongyi instantly beamed with joy, their smiles blooming like flowers. It seemed their worries were unfounded. This lad, Lin Hui, was indeed quite sensible, recognizing the importance of obeying orders. Indeed, he is a good soldier. Lei Ming smiled, as if expecting this outcome. Very well, then come with me. The vehicle is downstairs, and I will wait for you. He bid farewell to the commander and the regiment leader, then cheerfully departed. Lin Hui saluted the two leaders. I am leaving. Lu Qingsong patted him firmly on the back. Work hard when you get there, learn well, and don't think of home. Do not return. Zhou Zhongyi's heart blossomed with joy, yet his exterior wore a mask of sorrow. Lin Hui, you are indeed the pride of our Tiger Brigade. To be honest, I find it quite difficult to part ways with you. However, for the sake of your future and development, we must proceed with this decision. Once you are there, Do not forget about your commander. Lin Hui replied with a cheerful demeanor. Commander, why so melancholic? Perhaps I shall return in a few days. But enough of this. I must take my leave. The two exchanged nods and waved farewell as Lin Hui descended the stairs. The moment he left, they rolled their eyes. Return? What a foolish dream. Upon arriving there, he would become a prized possession of the Black Tiger. They would bind him tightly with ropes. How could he possibly come back? LV Chingsong chuckled slyly. Fear not. This lad won't return, but his equipment surely will. Zhou Zhongyi nodded with excitement. We are about to strike it rich. This is indeed a fortune. Lin Hui, standing on the staircase, caught the sound of their exuberant laughter from the office and felt a twitch at the corner of his mouth. Those two must have acquired quite a haul. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so jubilant. But what did it matter? He would be back in a few days. He hoped that when they saw him again, they would still smile with such radiant joy. Downstairs at the headquarters, a jeep awaited, with Lei Ming already seated in the passenger seat. Lin Hui opened the door and climbed in. The vehicle soon roared to life and exited the camp. Lei Ming glanced at the rearview mirror, noticing that since Lin Hui boarded, he had not uttered a single word and merely gazed out at the passing scenery. Attempting to console him, he said, All right, try not to be too disheartened. I know you have feelings for this place, and leaving your old unit must weigh on your heart. However, you must understand that with your capabilities, staying here is not suitable for you. The special forces are your true calling. I assure you, once you arrive there, you will realize that is where you truly belong. Lin Hui did not respond to his words, but instead fixed his gaze intently on him. Commander, you may have misunderstood. I am not at all saddened. Lei Ming paused, finally noticing the calmness on Lin Hui's face, adorned with a faint smile, entirely devoid of sorrow. Could it be that I misjudged the situation? He asked, astonished. So, you are not upset? Lin Hui shook his head. Why should I be upset? Lei Ming was momentarily speechless. It seemed this lad held no sentiment for this place at all. He had departed without a trace of emotion, not even a tear, let alone a facade of sadness would suffice. He questioned with irritation, Then what was it that had you staring blankly out the window? If not reminiscing about your old unit? Certainly not, Lin Hui replied with a smile. I was merely pondering when you would unveil the second order. Lei Ming's pupils constricted in shock, nearly causing him to choke on his own words. What? How does this lad know everything? Chapter 121. If looks could kill, he would be torn to shreds. Lei Ming was utterly bewildered. How could this young man possess such knowledge? Could it be that he had some extraordinary background? Observing Lin Hui's composed demeanor, Lei Ming could only manage an awkward smile. Lin Hui, the contents of that order are only half the story, he began. But Lin Hui promptly interrupted. Captain Lei, I am well aware of the order's details. Let us not waste time. Once we arrive, we shall execute the command as instructed. Lei Ming's eyes twitched in surprise. It was no wonder Lin Hui had maintained his calm in the office earlier. He had clearly been holding back. Initially, Lei Ming had intended to conceal the existence of the second order from Lin Hui, executing only the first one. Once they reached the Black Tiger unit and settled him in, he was certain that, given time, Lin Hui would come to appreciate the merits of the special forces. At that point, even if they tried to expel him with a broom, he would undoubtedly refuse to leave. However, Lei Ming had not anticipated that Lin Hui not only knew of the two orders, but was also aware of the second one's contents, which complicated matters significantly. After all, that latter order was one he himself would hesitate to defy. Lei Ming stated with seriousness, even if you are aware of the second command, what of it? I advise you to adhere strictly to the first one. The latter is beyond your capability. Lin Hui chuckled. That simply will not do. I thrive on challenging limits. Lei Ming scrutinized him, a derisive smile creeping onto his face. I acknowledge that you possess some skill, but that alone falls woefully short. You lack any understanding of what it means to be part of the special forces, nor do you comprehend the challenges that lie ahead. Lin Hui shrugged, unconcerned. How can one know without attempting? You need not try. I can assure you, you have no hope. Lei Ming retorted. That won't suffice. You must allow me the chance to prove myself before I can accept defeat. Lin Hui grinned. Besides, I refuse to concede without a fair trial. During the exercises, I left your special forces in tatters, remember? Lei Ming's expression darkened. Why bring that up now? Very well, I have tried to reason with you. But you seem intent on running headlong into a wall. It appears that your recent victories have inflated your ego. Do you truly believe the special forces are mere pushovers? He scoffed. Fine, since you are so adamant, I shall grant you this chance. However, should you fail, you are to remain in quiet submission. Your dissatisfaction must be suppressed. Absolutely. Lin Hui nodded, brimming with confidence. What is so formidable about the special forces? They are merely a collection of defeated foes. Soon enough, I shall have them all on the ground. Several hours later, at the Black Tiger base, a sudden alarm pierced the air. Everyone rushed to assemble, standing at attention. After a brief wait, no one appeared. A curious soldier turned to Li Meng and inquired, Squad leader, What is happening? Who are we waiting for? Li Ming narrowed his eyes. We are expecting a newcomer. A newcomer? The group paused momentarily before realization struck. Could it be that Lin Hui? Li Ming nodded, remaining silent. Initially, the knowledge of Lin Hui's arrival had ignited anger among them. They wished nothing more than to dismantle him piece by piece. Having been so thoroughly bested during the exercises, his audacity to show up in person was tantamount to courting disaster. However, in recent days, Lei Ming had already prepared the squad by addressing their mindset with the instructor's assistance. They were no longer as averse. The instructor was right. Though his methods were somewhat dubious, the fact that he could subdue them during the exercise demonstrated his undeniable capability. The military venerates strength, especially within the special forces. Although they still harbored resentment towards Lin Hui, they could suppress their anger and refrain from causing him trouble. Soon, a jeep approached from a distance. Lei Ming stepped out and walked over with Lin Hui, yet before they could speak, Li Ming bellowed, "Welcome our new comrade. Let us give a round of applause." The sound of clapping erupted immediately. Lei Ming felt a wave of embarrassment, as he had instructed everyone to extend a warm welcome. However, the current atmosphere seemed somewhat inappropriate since Lin Hui had no intention of staying long. Lin Hui approached with a beaming smile, waving to everyone. "You are too kind. Too kind. It feels as though a superior is here for an inspection." "Oh, really? You don't need to welcome me so warmly. I won't be here for many days." Everyone looked bewildered. What did he mean he wouldn't stay long? Had the captain's orders not been conveyed? Li Ming discreetly glanced at Lei Ming and asked, "Captain, what is going on? Didn't you resolve this?" Lei Ming shot him a glare, remaining silent. Instead, he rolled his eyes and cheerfully explained, "Well, Lin Hui indeed received orders to join us at Black Tiger. But he mentioned on his way here that our humble abode might be too small to accommodate such a distinguished presence. So he plans to leave after a couple of days. Naturally, the higher-ups share this sentiment, and we must respect his decision." The expressions of everyone instantly shifted. Their gazes toward Lin Hui filled with fury. How dare he think so highly of himself? The Black Tiger base is too small for him? Damn it. I could just go up and smack him. Li Ming clenched his fists, his eyes equally aflame with anger. What an arrogant fool, thinking himself so important. Observing the indignant expressions of the crowd, Lei Ming couldn't help but smirk. If Lin Hui complied and behaved, he could keep the crowd in check. But if this brat acted out, he had plenty of ways to bring him to heel. Lin Hui, however, was acutely aware of Lei Ming's intentions but remained unfazed. Instead, he cheerfully addressed the crowd. "Everyone, please don't get too worked up. My decision to leave is for your benefit. After all, I've outperformed you twice in the drills. If I were to stay, wouldn't that make things quite awkward for you?" Gritted teeth and clenched fists surrounded him. The tension palpable. Lei Ming's lips twitched in disbelief. Was this kid out of his mind? He had just dug a pit, and now he voluntarily jumped in. He could hardly be blamed. Lin Hui flashed a grin at him and continued to address the crowd. "The higher-ups issued 2 orders, one to transfer me here, and the other, out of concern for my well-being, fearing I might be mistreated. Of course, they also wanted to highlight just how much you all fall short of my capabilities, and this is meant to encourage your progress." The collective outrage reached a boiling point. If gazes could slay, Lin Hui would have been dismembered 1,000 times over. What in the world is he doing here, serving in the military, or simply seeking trouble? We could overlook the mockery during the exercises, but now they dare to confront us directly? It is imperative that we teach him a lesson. As Lei Ming observed the furious expressions of those around him, a wicked smile crept onto his lips. "Lin Hui, this predicament is entirely of your own making. You cannot blame me." Chapter 122. I mean to say that all present here are worthless. What the hell? This kid is insufferably arrogant. Does he truly believe himself to be impressive? Everyone was incensed, pointing furiously at him, their spittle flying. Lei Ming watched Lin Hui, his face alight with schadenfreude. "You thought you could act so brazenly? Now you have incited everyone's wrath. Let us see how you extricate yourself from this. Even if you wish to remain, it is futile. Even if I were to agree, they would not." Coughing to gather attention as the tension simmered, Lei Ming commanded silence. With a chilling exhale, the atmosphere fell abruptly quiet, yet the fury in the eyes of the crowd could not be contained. They were on the verge of an explosion. Casting a sardonic glance at Lin Hui, Lei Ming said, "Lin Hui, look at the situation you have created. It would be wise to apologize to everyone now, lest things spiral beyond control." Lin Hui nodded. "Indeed, I owe everyone a sincere apology." He turned to the crowd, smiling brightly, and declared, "I am sorry. But it appears there has been a misunderstanding. I did not claim to be exceptional. I merely suggested that you all might not measure up." What the hell? The previously quiet training ground erupted once more, the collective fury ignited. "I can't take this any longer. Don't hold me back. I'm going to give him a beating." Lei Ming, equally furious, turned crimson with rage. How dare this little rascal fan the flames? As a group of soldiers rolled up their sleeves, eager to confront Lin Hui, He quickly addressed Lei Ming with a serious tone. Comrade Captain, you cannot allow your soldiers to act recklessly. We are all soldiers, comrades. If they harm me, I will report it. In that case, they would all face confinement for the sake of beating me, and I am certain you wouldn't want that, would you? Lei Ming's eyes blazed with fury, his nostrils flaring. This brat was not only shameless, but also surprisingly articulate. He navigated the rules of the military with such finesse that even Lei Ming found himself at a loss for how to react. Clutching his chest in frustration, he glared at Lin Hui. What exactly are you trying to achieve? If you seek trouble, we shall oblige. The crowd immediately began to crack their knuckles and stretch, some preparing their bodies for confrontation. Li Ming had already discerned that Lin Hui was deliberately provoking them. The essence of his words may have seemed innocuous, but suggesting that everyone present was worthless was tantamount to an affront. Each of these special forces soldiers was a champion from their respective units, having endured grueling training to achieve their current status. Special forces represent the pinnacle of infantry aspiration and a mark of honor. Yet now, the Black Tiger unit had lowered themselves to extend an invitation to a mere regular soldier, and this fellow not only rebuffed their courtesy, but audaciously insulted them, delivering a devastating blow to their pride. One may insult their character, yet it is utterly impermissible to insult the Black Tiger. Such is the decree. Lin Hui did not wish to express himself so definitively, but circumstances left him no choice, for the captain wielded military orders against him. In order to return, and to prevent the nefarious schemes of the regimental and divisional commanders from succeeding, he was compelled to act thus. He gazed at the assembly, a smile gracing his face, and declared, "This is your territory. Naturally, you are the ones who hold sway here. How about you delineate the terms? Whatever you wish to compete in, I shall acquiesce. However, do not expect me to yield. That is simply out of the question." Lin Hui's arrogant demeanor only served to stoke the flames of their collective ire even further. A distinguished special forces soldier requiring the leniency of mere regular troops? How absurd. Even Lei Ming felt a surge of anger that nearly led to internal injuries. When he first encountered Lin Hui, he found the fellow both formidable and detestable. Now, all that remained was disdain. Lin Hui turned his gaze towards him and inquired politely, "Well, Captain, what say you?" "Not a problem," Lei Ming replied, directing his attention to the crowd, and loudly challenged, "But I shall not bully you. Let everyone voice their thoughts. This fellow wishes to engage in a contest, believing our humble abode cannot accommodate his grandiose presence, feeling superior to us. So, what shall we compete in? Compete? Let's just beat him up." A throng of individuals, momentarily losing their reason, rolled up their sleeves, eager to rush forward. Lin Hui, startled by the advancing crowd, realized that even with 3 heads and 6 arms, he could not withstand such numbers. He hastily shouted, Wait. Once the crowd halted, Lin Hui quickly turned to Lei Ming, saying, "Did we not just agree? No group assaults are permitted. There are orders from above. Should you violate them, I will report you, and you and your men will face confinement." Lei Ming nearly spat blood in exasperation. This chap was determined to adhere to the rules, even using them to his own advantage. Very well, if no group assaults were to occur, then surely the Black Tiger's multitude could easily handle this insolent brat. Lei Ming took a deep breath, suppressing his fury. "Rest assured, we have always abided by the rules. A duel is a duel. If more than one person engages you, you are but a coward." Lin Hui quickly interjected, "Now, those are your words. Do not renege. Captain, let me take the lead. I possess greater strength, and shall surely make him unrecognizable." Hearing the furious declarations, Lei Ming's lips curled into a sardonic smile. Initially, he intended only to ignite a spark, hoping Lin Hui would retreat. Unexpectedly, this fellow not only stood his ground but poured gasoline on the flames. The fire now blazed uncontrollably, even if he wished to intervene. It was too late. The dignity and honor of the special forces would not tolerate provocation, especially from a mere regular soldier. Who could withstand such affront? Lei Ming regarded Lin Hui with a smirk, tinged with a hint of sympathy. "Comrade Lin Hui, you have truly incited the wrath of the masses. Had you arrived under different circumstances, they might have shown some restraint, but now, they will surely unleash all their might upon you. I offer you a piece of advice. A wise man does not suffer losses unnecessarily. Perhaps it would be prudent to extend an apology. If all else fails, I shall kneel and bow my head, and I shall not stop you." Lin Hui pondered for a moment, realizing that it was indeed somewhat inappropriate. He then turned to the crowd, straightened his attire, and with a sincere expression, declared, "Very well, I apologize." Instantly, the tension among the onlookers diminished slightly. It seems this young man possesses some awareness. Lei Ming, standing nearby, could hardly contain his amusement. This lad merely speaks boldly when faced with reality. He has shown his cowardice. After all, he is merely an ordinary soldier. How could he dare to stand against so many? Just then, Lei Ming was about to speak. But Lin Hui interrupted him. Captain, I have yet to finish my words. Lei Ming was taken aback, his face a canvas of confusion. Could it be that he intends to continue apologizing? Surely he wouldn't actually kneel and bow. Lin Hui looked at everyone with an honest demeanor and said, I apologize. I was indeed too arrogant earlier. However, I am just an arrogant person, so you all may handle it as you wish, for I shall not change. Lei Ming clutched his stomach, nearly choking on his indignation, and shouted furiously, I can no longer tolerate this. Who among you will step forward and take him down? Chapter 123. Will he still employ the Lushan Rising Dragon Fist? I will. Let me handle this. I shall beat him to the point of expulsion. The crowd erupted in fervent outrage, their shouts echoing incessantly. Observing their pent-up fury, Lei Ming felt a wicked delight and maliciously glanced at Lin Hui. Let us see how this will end for you. Lin Hui innocently inquired. May I choose my opponent? Certainly. That is your right, Lei Ming retorted with a cold smirk. However, I advise you to sharpen your eyesight and choose wisely. The combat skills of special forces are not to be trifled with, lest you bring harm upon yourself. Lin Hui beamed with confidence. Fear not, I am well aware. With a mischievous grin, he strolled towards the crowd, saying, Why all the shouting? You shall all be the ones to face the punishment soon enough. Li Meng, gritting his teeth, nearly poked Lin Hui in the nose with his finger. You scoundrel, if you have the guts, choose me. I shall fight you. Lin Hui appraised him from head to toe, unconsciously recalling the last time he was mercilessly beaten by a group, and burst into laughter. How amusing. Li Meng appeared to suffer 1,000 critical hits. What are you laughing at? Do you look down upon me? Lin Hui waved his hand, his tone earnest. No. I simply recalled something amusing. You may rest, for I shall not fight you. His gaze swept through the crowd like radar, quickly zeroing in on a particularly short individual. Barely 5'3", who was slender and slight. You step forward. The 5'3" fellow blinked in surprise, glancing around. Lin Hui pointed at him. Yes, stop looking around. It's you, the 5'3" one, come forth. The short man's expression darkened as he stepped out of the line. The others were enraged. Their faces flushed as they spat in contempt. Shameless, utterly shameless. This fellow is clearly afraid of a proper fight, deliberately seeking out an easy target. Watching the short man emerge from the crowd, Lei Ming's mouth twitched in disbelief. It seems he had underestimated Lin Hui's audacity. This fellow has truly taken shamelessness to an entirely new level. In the face of a barrage of insults from the crowd, Lin Hui remained calm and composed, as if the vitriol were directed at someone else entirely. He glanced at the soldier standing before him, who was a mere 1.60 meters tall, and politely nodded. Then, he shouted to the rest. Is there anyone in your ranks who appears particularly weak? Preferably someone like him. Short, slender, and seemingly unimpressive? Is that too unclear? I am looking for those who, during training, cannot hold their own against anyone, frequently take a beating, and consistently rank at the bottom. No cheating is allowed. I require the weakest. The crowd immediately grasped the situation, realizing that this fellow had indeed cast aside all semblance of shame. While others discreetly sought out soft targets, he boldly proclaimed his intentions. It was as if he took pride in his audacity. How shameless, they muttered. Were you not just boasting? Now you only dare to challenge the weak? The chorus of jeers grew louder, and Lei Ming's fury was palpable. He understood that Lin Hui likely lacked confidence and was deliberately targeting the weakest to secure a chance of victory. A sneer formed on Lei Ming's lips. Even the weakest among the Black Tiger Special Forces had been meticulously selected, having emerged from trials of fire and adversity. Toss them into any ordinary unit, and they would dominate effortlessly, an invincible presence. Even the least formidable among them could easily overpower Lin Hui. No need for further deliberation. Allow me to assist you in your selection, Lei Ming declared, pointing at 3 individuals in the lineup. You, and you, step forward. The 3 named soldiers reluctantly emerged from the ranks, their faces etched with dissatisfaction. Lei Ming turned to Lin Hui with a slight smile. These 3 excel in various aspects, but they are somewhat lacking in combat skills, which perfectly aligns with your request. Moreover, although 1.60 meters may seem unimpressive, their strength surpasses theirs. Lin Hui chuckled lightly. Thank you for your kind consideration, Captain. Before Lei Ming could comprehend the implications of this remark, Lin Hui had already turned to address everyone. My apologies, everyone. Aside from these 4, the rest are free to challenge me. Lei Ming was rendered speechless. The 4 soldiers beside him were fuming, feeling as though they had suffered 1,000,000 points of damage. You impertinent fool, they exclaimed, rolling up their sleeves, ready to charge at him. Lei Ming swiftly intervened, spreading his arms wide like a net to restrain all 4. The furious quartet protested. Captain, this guy is utterly disrespectful. We must teach him a lesson. Lei Ming retorted with a cold snort. Rules are rules. Do you wish to face disciplinary action? Upon hearing this, the 4 gradually simmered down. Lin Hui hastily stepped back, waving his hands dismissively. Don't be impulsive, for heaven's sake. If you act rashly, I might truly end up incapacitating you. The tension ignited once more, and the smoldering embers of rage flared back to life. I can't hold back any longer. Even if it means facing punishment, I will take him down. Lei Ming's roar cut through the air. Enough. The four fell silent instantly, but the murderous intent in their eyes was impossible to conceal. With a glare directed at Lin Hui, Lei Ming demanded, "Are you certain you do not wish to fight them?" Lin Hui replied earnestly, "Of course. If we are to engage, let it be against the strongest. Why bully them? I could summon a monkey to thrash them." The crowd trembled with indignation at this moment. Allowing him to utter even one more word would be a grave offense. He must have his mouth smashed, with all his teeth knocked out. Lei Ming clutched his heart, nearly exploding from anger. All right, let us proceed as you wish. Excluding these four, you may choose anyone else. That is settled then. Lin Hui chuckled, then pointed to a burly man in the crowd. Step forward. The robust man cracked his neck and pushed aside the crowd effortlessly. He stood over 2 meters tall, with veins bulging on his forehead, resembling a heavy tank. With a grin, he appraised Lin Hui. "You've got some nerve, daring to pick me for practice?" Lin Hui chuckled in response. "Didn't I just say it? We'll take on the strongest. You seem formidable enough." The burly man smirked, though his expression remained filled with fury. "At least you have some discernment." Lin Hui turned to Lei Ming and inquired, "Captain, if I defeat him, does that mean I have triumphed over all of you? I'd rather not have a second round. It's too bothersome and I don't have the time." Lei Ming glanced at the burly man, feeling exceedingly reassured. He then replied to Lin Hui, "No problem, as long as you can best him. It equates to defeating everyone." Lin Hui smiled slightly. "All right then, let us proceed." The burly man turned to Lei Ming, a cruel smile adorning his face. "Captain, may I kill him?" "Of course not." Lei Ming's face hardened, but he quickly lowered his voice. "Just leave him breathing. Don't hold back. The more ruthless, the better." The burly man chuckled. "Understood." Everyone dispersed, forming a circle around them. Lin Hui stood opposite, calmly extending his finger to beckon. "Come on." As his words fell, with a resounding crash, the burly man lunged forward like a cannonball. Lin Hui was taken aback by the speed, thinking to himself, "Oh no, I've overestimated. I thought someone so large would be slow, yet he's remarkably swift." In the blink of an eye, the man was upon him, his fist aimed directly at Lin Hui's face. The onlookers were nearly screaming with excitement. If that punch connected, Lin Hui would surely be incapacitated for at least 10 days. But in the next moment, the anticipated spectacle did not unfold. Lin Hui deftly slid back, narrowly evading the fist that brushed past his forehead. Ding! Agility leveled up. That was close. Lin Hui breathed a sigh of relief, his vigilance heightened. The strength of a special forces soldier was indeed incomparable to that of an ordinary soldier. Had it not been for his enhanced evasion skills, he might not have dodged that blow. The burly man, surprised by the miss, remarked, "You've got some quick reflexes, but let us see how long you can keep it up." In the next instant, his gaze turned icy. Boom! With a speed that was almost imperceptible, the burly man unleashed an uppercut, aiming for Lin Hui's chin. Lin Hui's heart raced in alarm. What the hell? Is he using the Lushan Rising Dragon Fist? Chapter 124. Arrogantly overconfident. I will take on 10. Lin Hui caught a glimpse of a fist the size of a sandbag rapidly approaching from below. The burly man's body twisted swiftly, and his fist hurtled towards Lin Hui's chin. If that punch landed, his face would undoubtedly be disfigured. Lin Hui swiftly propelled himself backward, utilizing the force of his right foot to spring away. Whoosh! A fist soared past him, the gust created by its passage ruffling his hair. With a thud, Lin Hui landed 3 meters away, shaken but unharmed. The burly man furrowed his brow, clearly frustrated. "You little rascal, you can dodge quite well, can't you? If you have the guts, don't run. Weren't you the one who wanted to fight?" Lin Hui retorted with a scoff. "What's wrong with letting me be?" "Let you be? Do I need to accommodate you?" With a resounding thump, the burly man stomped the ground, creating a small crater, and charged again, his speed significantly increased. Lin Hui's expression turned serious. He realized he had underestimated his opponent. Initially, he had thought the man, tall and muscular, would be akin to the brutish fighters he had encountered before, but this one exhibited surprising agility. Clearly, he had overindulged in his calcium supplements. Not only was he fast on his feet, but his punches were swift as well, and a single blow could fracture bones. The burly man unleashed a flurry of powerful punches and kicks, creating fierce gusts of wind that compelled Lin Hui to evade relentlessly. Ding! Evasion skill, level 1. Ding! Speed level 1. Agility level 1. Lin Hui crouched low, narrowly avoiding a high sweeping kick. A smile of exhilaration spread across his face, his blood surging with adrenaline. It had been a long time since he felt this alive. His system thrived on learning. Only when faced with formidable opponents did he grow stronger. At that moment, Lin Hui was not just evading, but also studying his adversary's techniques, seeking a chance to counterattack. As Lin Hui continued to retreat, gradually finding himself at a disadvantage, the onlookers erupted with excitement, shouting, "Take him down. Don't give him an opportunity. You must defeat him." Lei Ming, arms crossed over his chest, felt his smile fade, replaced by a darkening expression. As the captain, he was not oblivious to the intricacies at play. Although Lin Hui appeared to be merely dodging without retaliating, his opponent was not gaining any advantage and was, in fact, being led by the nose. It was clear that Lin Hui was adept at choosing his opponents. He had selected this man, a champion fighter from the Black Tiger, a rarity among the entire combat zone. However, Lei Ming never anticipated that despite several consecutive powerful punches, the burly man had yet to graze even the hem of Lin Hui's clothing. Lei Ming mused, "It seems this kid possesses more skill than I imagined. I've truly underestimated him. But what good is dodging alone?" Just then, his eyes widened in realization, and excitement coursed through him. Thud! The burly man seized an opening, delivering a heavy punch to Lin Hui's chest. "I'll make you stop running," the burly man declared triumphantly. Yet, before he could finish his sentence, his eyes nearly bulged from their sockets. He suddenly realized that his fist had not struck Lin Hui at all. Instead, it had been ensnared by the angle formed by Lin Hui's hand and body. As the burly man attempted to withdraw his hand, Lin Hui swiftly closed the distance. "Where do you think you're going? Didn't you want to fight?" Lin Hui chuckled, eliciting a mix of anger and frustration from the burly man. With a furious roar, he swung his other fist toward his opponent's head. At that moment, Lin Hui propelled himself with a sudden force, his body twisting dramatically. He concentrated all his strength into his right fist. Just as the burly man's south punch drew perilously close, a mere 2 centimeters from Lin Hui's head, a resounding thud echoed as Lin Hui's hook struck his chin first. The burly man felt his features tremble violently, his body becoming uncontrollable as he soared into the air, landing heavily 3 meters away. A profound silence enveloped the scene, as onlookers stood in stunned disbelief, as though caught in a dream. Lei Ming's jaw dropped in shock, nearly dislocating. He hurried over, only to find that the burly man's head had tilted to the side, fully immersed in slumber. Lei Ming glanced at the fallen giant, then at Lin Hui, waves of astonishment crashing within him. The man had to weigh over 200 pounds, yet Lin Hui had sent him flying with a single punch. What extraordinary strength did this fellow possess? He was nothing short of a monster. Lin Hui shook his hand, grimacing slightly, and remarked, "Truly tough skin and dense flesh. My hand is quite sore from the impact." He turned to the wide-eyed crowd and chuckled, "My apologies for the delay. I intended to show him some mercy, to spare his dignity, but I did not anticipate his swift defeat. Is there anyone else willing to step up and test their mettle? This time, I shall be more serious." Everyone swallowed hard, gazing up at the sky, some even lowering their heads to count their fingers. This fellow had effortlessly dispatched their strongest warrior with a single blow. Who would dare to challenge him again? After inquiring twice without a response, Lin Hui looked at Lei Ming, exasperated. "Captain, surely there are no cowards among you? I had expected your special forces to be formidable, but I must admit, I am rather disappointed." The crowd's expressions darkened instantly, their glares fixed upon him, though they could not muster the strength to confront him. Before Lei Ming could respond, Lin Hui, still smiling, suggested, "Since you are hesitant to face me one-on-one, how about a challenge with 10 of you at once?" "Damn, he wants to take on 10. Who does he think he is? So audacious, so utterly arrogant. I could kill him with a mere glare." The crowd erupted in outrage. Lei Ming's face flushed with embarrassment. Their strongest had been bested by an ordinary soldier. If word got out, they would surely face severe reprimand from above. He glared coldly at Lin Hui. "You've had your fun. Enough of your arrogance." Lin Hui grinned. "I am merely gauging my abilities. Fear not. I can handle precisely 10. One more would be too much, yet one less would be unsatisfactory. Let us settle this once and for all." Lei Ming's lips twitched in irritation. To claim one decisive victory against 10, surely absurd. Nevertheless, in the interest of recovering their pride, he replied icily, "Very well. Since you have requested it, do not blame others if you lose." Lin Hui chuckled, "No problem. Let us begin." With a growl, Lei Ming called out, and chaos erupted among the ranks as they clamored to volunteer. "Let me go? I'll show him my might." A throng of eager challengers surged forward, each a master of combat. Soon, they had encircled Lin Hui. He turned to survey the fierce, predatory gazes of the crowd, and rather than succumbing to panic, a faint smile curled at the corners of his lips. Having just battled with that burly man, his abilities had increased slightly, nearly sufficient to handle the current predicament. Even if he couldn't manage, enduring a few hits was inconsequential. As long as he could grow stronger, that was all that mattered. He gestured to the crowd, beckoning them forward. "Come on, let us all together take him down." The throng roared in response, charging toward him. Yet, Lin Hui was quicker on the draw. With a swift stride, he mimicked the burly man's earlier attack, launching himself like a cannonball toward the nearest adversary. The round-faced Special Forces soldier was taken aback as Lin Hui's form loomed larger before him. What the hell so fast? As Lin Hui's massive fist swung toward his face, he had no time to evade, instinctively raising both hands to block. Lin Hui grinned, retracting his straight punch, twisting his body to deliver an uppercut that connected squarely with the soldier's jaw. Before he could utter another word, the soldier was sent airborne, crashing to the ground, and swiftly